Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the board meeting of July 22nd. The time is now 5:10, and I'm calling the meeting to order. And I'm going to ask if I could have Ms. Tiffany Davis of the BHEF please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. And the mission vision, please, Dr. Hasty.
The BHUSD mission statement, vision statement, and values. Mission is educational excellence. Vision. Our students will realize their full potential to thrive with integrity in a complex, changing world.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hasty. And Dr. Wardrop, will you please read the community pledge?
BHUSD's Community Pledge. The BHUSD community acknowledges that in order to achieve educational excellence, we must act with integrity and respect for each other and our learning environment. Therefore, I pledge to model civil behavior and respect in all communications and in public while maintaining a culture of honesty, listen and acknowledge differences of opinion, do my part to protect an inclusive culture in which we honor the relationship between all community members, and honor our learning environment, including how we take care of our schools and personal property. By holding ourselves and each other accountable to this pledge at all times, we'll promote an environment of educational excellence that will allow our entire BHUSD community to thrive.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wardrop. Okay, Dr. Chernis, is there any, I'd like to call for an approval of the agenda. Do I have an approval, like move to approve the agenda? Motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry.
I'll second.
Second, thank you, Ms. Sabag. Okay, is there any report of closed session, Dr. Chernis?
Nothing to report.
Thank you very much. Okay, I would like to turn this now over to Dr. Chernis to introduce our new public information officer.
Thank you, President Marcus. It is my honor and privilege to recognize Mr. Colby Goulardian. Come on up, Colby, as the new PIO for the BHUSD. Colby is very humble. However, his work for our district is extraordinary. And so just getting to know Colby over the last several months, his role in personally in me transitioning into this role as superintendent has been incredible. And he's been an integral part of my transition. And his connection to the city and to the district is really, really like nothing I've ever seen. Colby is a student at USC, and somehow he manages to do that and hold down a full-time position. And not just hold it down, but do it exceptionally well. When I am here on weekends, I will drive by at times and see his car parked outside. When I'm here at nights, I will see his car parked outside. He puts in the work. And so he's not just a great employee, but he's a great example to our students. The world is changing, and students are now being able to take on greater responsibility in the professional world at a younger and younger age. And Colby's a great example of that. And so I couldn't be more proud to hire Colby as our new PIO. And I know that the board shares the same excitement and respect for the work you've done. And you've really earned this. And I know you've said, I've always wanted this job, and hopefully this is just one step in many, many more great accomplishments for you and your career. I want to congratulate your parents for raising you and for teaching you, so much. And so many times when I see students and young adults that are succeeding in life, I always know that there's parents behind them that have a lot to do with that. So I want to congratulate. Hopefully your mom's watching. Yay,
Hi, Mom.
she's here. Let's give your mom a big hand. And with that, I will turn it back over to President Marcus.
Good evening. I'll keep this short and from the heart. BHUSD is home for me. Starting at kindergarten at El Rodeo to Beverly Vista Middle School to senior year class of 2024 at Beverly, every part of who I am was shaped right here. This district gave me everything. Teachers who believed in me, opportunities that changed my life, and a community that always showed up. To now be in a position to give back, to serve the district that raised me, is something I will never take for granted. Thank you, Board of Education and Dr. Chernus and the Beverly Hills community for trusting me with this opportunity. I understand the responsibility and pledge to meet it head on. To my family, my friends, my mentors, my city partners, Paula, Nikki, the social media squad, I couldn't be here without you. I'm excited for what's ahead to celebrate our schools, our staff, our alumni, our history, and above all, our students. This is just the beginning, and stay tuned for our website redesign launch coming at the beginning of the school year. Thank you.
Mrs. Manicherry?
I think we want to shower you with our welcome and appreciation. Colby, what I would like to say about you is that since I've been on the board, I've always used the saying to remind everyone you can love BHUSD, but want BHUSD to be better at the same time. And I don't think anybody exemplifies that more than you do. The light in your eye and in your heart when you are doing something related to the city or the school district burns very bright. But with that said, you're constantly looking for ways to do more, to make it about the kids, to share with the community all the amazing and school-centered activities, events, programming, noise, excitement that's happening. And I thank you for bringing that care and that enthusiasm to everything that you do. You have been the PIO for some time now, and it's an honor to really slap that name on you today officially. Thank you for stepping in and stepping up. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Colby. Chrissy, are you prepared? We can't do anything without you, Colby, so we did a little slide. So Colby is a shining example of excellence and dedication, a proud graduate of Beverly Hills High School class of 2024, and a remarkable product of our very own district. Colby was born, raised, and sent forward in our district. Colby is not just an alumni, he's a true embodiment of our district's mission, carrying forward the spirit and values he cultivated here. His years started at El Rodeo to Beverly Vista, and graduating from Beverly Hills High School laid the foundation for a career marked by leadership, creativity, and services. Look at all those certificates. Colby has consistently expanded his impact across every endeavor. As Executive Director of Student Production for KBEV 6, Colby produced over 200 student-led videos, mentoring peers, and shaping high-caliber student media. He also served as Communications Media Specialist at BHUSD, producing content that uplifts the district, celebrates student success, and strengthens community ties. Concurrently, Colby expanded his expertise as BHTV intern producer for the City of Beverly Hills, so showcasing city initiatives and honing broadcast skills. His talents extend beyond BHUSD. He's created content for the Beverly Hills Rotary, producing a well-received podcast series that has earned 5,000 listeners, a testament to his storytelling power. At Alliance Hospitality Group, Colby impacted social media for 6 restaurant chains, reaching over 1 million followers through Instagram, TikTok, SEO, and more. Colby launched Excellence in Action, a weekly social media series pairing alumni and current students, bringing intergenerational wisdom to the forefront. Colby's dedication knows no hour. Even at a young age, Colby's work ethic is unwavering, often working night and day, as Dr. Cherna said, ensuring critical communications reach every corner of our community. He's known for always being there, from boardroom broadcasts to emergency alerts, special events, and behind-the-scenes efforts. Colby steps up and steps in without fail. A heart for service. Colby's motto: I'm an alum. I'm really excited to give back to the school that gave me so much. His pride in BHUSD shows in every post, production, and podcast, always highlighting student achievement and turning the spotlight on their success. The next chapter, as Colby steps into the role of Public Information Officer, PIO, we have full confidence in his vision to elevate district-wide communications to new heights, continue bridging connections between students, alumni, families, and community, ensure that every message from academic accomplishments to district announcements is delivered with clarity, integrity, and pride. When you say thank you so much, Colby, he answers right away, always happy to help. Colby, thank you for being a true reflection of BHUSD's mission. We are incredibly proud and cannot wait to see where you lead us next. Thank you, Colby.
We'll resume in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Meeting, it's now 5:30. I'm sorry for the delay. We were in the midst of hearing a wonderful prepared speech by Ms. Sabag for Colby, and I think now, did you have anything else I just want to make one more little short comment and we can move on. Did you want to say anything more, Mr. Stewart?
Yes. Colby, you obviously know that I am very fond of you and your work. I can definitely tell the community that if you weren't here, we would be in a much worse place. The amount of work that not only do we put on you, but you put on yourself is unprecedented. And I've had the pleasure of sitting next to you on many occasions, coding, doing websites, doing videos, and the skill you have at your age in just a plethora of things. People would wait a lifetime to have those skills, and you have all of them at such a young age. But again, not to repeat anything that people have already said, the one thing that I can say that is your greatest quality is you want to win. And that is something that in today's day and age, we all want the success from the win, and we all want the accolades from the win, but you have the tenacity and the drive for the winning journey. And that is what makes you so special, is that the work gets you excited just as much as the success from the work does. And that is a trait that is unheard of nowadays. And I just hope that other kids your age, and with all due respect, adults our age, look at that and say, wow, I want to win like Colby does. And if we could all do that, not only is this school district going to be magical, but everyone who ever touches your life is going to be magical as well. So thank you for accepting this role, and thank you for teaching us how to win, because that is what this district has needed for a very long time, and we're happy to follow your lead.
Thank you.
I'm not finished. I mean, I'm always last, but I do have a few words to say. As you know, I don't like to talk a lot, but I'm going to give you one word. You are a mensch. Nobody could give you a better word than that word, Colby, because whenever you are asked to do anything and you're caring about others, everything that's been said about you so far is absolutely true. But the one thing about you is you are a mensch. And I know I'm speaking personally, but I'm also speaking for the community. Your knowledge about things are so invaluable and beyond my comprehension most of the time. But the most important thing is I want to publicly thank you for Let's Mrs. Marcus Meets. Because when I said that to you, you said, let's do it. And that was something that I always knew I would get from you. And I'm so thrilled that you're on our team. And I look forward to working with you during the rest of my term. Thank you very much, Colby.
Thank you.
Moving on to a presentation and approval of the Beverly Hills Education
Mrs. Marcus
Foundation, BHEF naming opportunities.
Mrs. Marcus Meets.
Oh, not
Mrs.
Marcus Meets. Oh, I forgot about me. Well, that's okay. All right, I'm sorry. Colby, we're up.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice to have you, and thank you for coming to do this with me. I'm very excited about doing this, Mrs. Marcus Meets. Tell me a little bit about your affiliation with the Beverly Hills Unified School District.
I'm assistant principal at Beverly Hills High School. I went to high school here. I actually went to Horseman Middle School for 2 years. Went to high school here. And then I taught here for 16 years. I became admin for the last 3 years.
I love your energy because every time I see you, you have so much energy. Tell me a
You too, actually.
tell me a little bit about what you try to do to develop the culture with the kids here at the school.
To me, because I spent a lot of time being out there, being present, saying hi, saying goodbye, coming to all the events, getting excited about things, right? I think that, and collaborating with students to bring that excitement or to participate in things. I've always said that involvement is influence, right? It's better to be involved and do something with someone and build a relationship that way than trying to step on someone for power, right? And I think that all those things help me help build community and relationships with people. And I don't really do it for me. I do it for everyone involved.
There is an expression, you can only get out of something what you put into it.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that I get with what you do with the kids here. Thank you so much for coming. Let's take a picture.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colby. Oh, okay, thank you. Presentation and approval of the Beverly Hills BHEF additional naming opportunities. Ms. Davis.
Hello. Tiffany Davis with the Beverly Hills Education Foundation. I am here to provide you a little bit of an update on namings and seek direction on some potentials we have. Let's just put it that way. So I will share my screen. Before I do that, let me just recap for anyone who wasn't watching the April 15th board meeting. I was here. We went through a lot of pricing for the high school, and I have resubmitted for the record, of course, the updated pricing sheet for that. I think everybody was in agreement. So we are using that to move forward, which leads us into tonight's conversation on pricing. So I won't reshare that unless you need me to. It is attached to the packet for the public, but that was all agreed upon, so nothing to discuss there. So let me share. Can you allow me to share, please?
Not this one, not the new one.
Chrissy, could I share? Okay.
Additional naming opportunities. Just additional.
Okay. Also, let me please first just thank you guys for allowing me to come at the beginning of this meeting. I am double booked tonight, so I so appreciate it. But I wanted to get through this so we can keep moving with namings. So based on the fact that we set prices at the prior meeting in April, what I'm getting back feedback-wise is one of two things. It's interesting. Either people are a little upset or frustrated that the namings are no longer in perpetuity. So they're a little concerned about the price, that it's not in perpetuity. They think it's a little high. Then other people don't even want perpetuity. They don't even want 25 years. They're only interested in naming something while their children are in school. So we have two ends of the spectrum. So I've been doing a lot of, having a lot of conversations with people, and I'm trying to come up with a way that we maintain value in the assets. What I don't want to do is start discounting value. But what I would love from you guys tonight is to discuss the possibility of a sliding scale, so to speak. So if you think about a car lease, and a car lease, basically you have a goal you're trying to get to, right? There's a number, and then you can kind of play with how many months are you paying? How much are you paying per month to suit the person leasing, right? So that somebody gets into the car and it's a done deal. I took that approach. So I put up on the screen just a sample formula. And so what I have done here is I've taken, let's say, a sample of a $300,000 asset. So a naming opportunity for $300,000. If you divide that by the 25-year typical limit, that comes to $12,000 a year. This is kind of what it's valued at, right? So if we take that $12,000 a year and just multiply it by 10 years instead of 25, we're at $120,000. We didn't decrease the value of the asset. We just decreased the lease time, the length of time for that naming. And then I just did quick math for 12,000 times 5 years. I wouldn't go below 5 years, just for the record, which is 60,000. So what I'm seeking from you guys is your blessing, so to speak, to use this sort of scale for our larger namings so that we can get them sold. And they might be for shorter periods of time, but it drives revenue, and then they're up for resale again a little sooner than, of course, the 25 years. I do believe that this would increase our sales pretty rapidly. I have also heard from several alumni who are very interested. They're starting to hear about namings. They're excited about the high school. I have to thank Josh Gross for sending out alumni highlights with an ad for us for namings, and that has driven some phone calls. But, I'm getting that bit of concern over the price. And so if I can just say, hey, what's your budget? Now let's look at what our options are and have some flexibility there in the length of time, I would appreciate it. So that's why I'm here, the main reason. And then I do have another naming opportunity I want to talk about. But I would love direction or, conversation about that.
So let me get this correct, Ms. Davis. You are asking us to more or less set different prices based on length of the term that it's named. You're not adding any additional new properties at this point. You're asking for this rather than, because on the list it says additional naming opportunities.
I noticed that as well. That's not what I sent in, so I'm not sure why that was on the agenda. But we can talk a little bit about additional naming opportunities.
Basically, we're here to discuss now the possibility of changing, and I will now turn it over to the members of the board and let them discuss it at this time. Mr. Stewart.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. It's good to see you. I too have had considerable number of our residents say that the pricing was just a little bit out of reach for many of the things that they were passionate about putting money into, and especially the concept of, are there opportunities that are just there while their kids were in school? So I say that we were getting the same conversations. I think honestly, your proposal of breaking it into annual payments is crucial. I support it wholeheartedly. If you look at it at the grand scale, like when you look at a naming rights opportunity, like for a major stadium, or like when crypto.com took over for Staples, they're not cutting that check all at once. It's over a 25 or 30 year period. So I think that this is not reinventing the wheel. I think it's very common in naming rights deals. And again, I think even though there are people that can, quote unquote, afford it, they feel more comfortable spreading those payments out. And I've had literally countless people saying, I don't mind spending $30,000, but make it $3,000 a year for 10 years. And again, I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out the math, but I think that this is the right approach. And I think, like you said, if we give a greater financial flexibility, you will see a lot more people who are coming up to the table. So, yeah, wholeheartedly approve.
Mrs. Manicherry.
Thank you. Hi, how are you?
Great.
Thanks for being here and for your time and effort on this.
Yeah.
I also, in theory, don't have a problem with a pro rata approach, which is what I'm understanding you're suggesting. I just would like to know, here we've got these 25-year terms. So how is it going to work out for the remainder of the 25 years? Like, let's say, for example, Joe Schmo takes a tree for half the price, for half the term, 12 and a half years. Will Joe also have an option to take the other 12.5% at the remaining 50%, or is that not on the table? It's just half for half as an example, or pro rata.
Great question. And I think we can be flexible with that. It's up to you guys. So I just want to be clear and make sure we're all on the same page about this. So what I'm saying is, so let's take 12,000 times 10 years. Okay. So I just want to be clear. The contract would state you get this naming for 10 years. That's it, not 25. Okay. I just want to make sure we're all on that same page.
Exactly.
Okay.
So whatever it is.
So at that 10-year mark, do they have the first right of refusal? I would say probably so. Now, is it at the same price?
That's the question.
I don't know.
Because their money is worth less at that time than it would be now.
Exactly. And that could be a little bit of their gamble, but again, they may not care. They may say, I only want it for 10 years and I'm not going to want it. So again, that would probably be a board decision, I would say at the time, probably as to where are we with pricing? What's the climate, and do we think these are still really fair, or do we need to go up?
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
I would be okay with the formula of taking the big price and then dividing it by the year and allocating accordingly. I just would say that maybe we should, not pick odd numbers like 7 here, 8 there. Maybe we want to go in 5, 10, 15, increments, like round increments.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
And also, we would, just to be clear with what you were saying, Russell, is I wouldn't necessarily say let's do 12,000 for 10 years. If that's all they can afford, I'm happy to work with them. I would prefer it be maybe 3 or 4 payments. And that way we get, we make sure we get full payment is where I'm going with it. Because sometimes people lose interest and they're like, I don't care about the last couple of years. I'm not saying anyone in this community would do that, but just in life, you want to make sure you've got the payment. And the schools are getting the money. That's the other thing too. I don't want to drag it out too long. I just want to be flexible.
Agreed.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Sabag.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Sure.
So I have a question. What if you do something where they do? I have no problem, as Mr. Stewart and Mrs. Monticelli said. But what if you do a discount if they pay one lump sum, or a little bit of a discount if they pay half and half, and then no discount if they have payments?
I am happy to work with discounts. Again, I just didn't want to devalue or take it upon myself, or BHEF take it upon ourselves to discount
Maybe
your assets.
three options.
It's up to you guys on that one.
I mean, I hesitate toward the discount route right now.
Like a teeny discount if they pay a whole lump sum rather than 10 years.
I mean, I'm open to it, but then that really means that you're going to have to come back every time.
Yeah.
And so I would love to give you a full instruction or a full approval on one thing that you can really run with. And then I'm open-minded.
Well, like say with the private schools, if you pay for the whole year in advance, you get just a teeny discount,
Like a 10%, or you talking?
not even less.
Oh, okay.
I think. But if you that's one lump sum,
Right.
which is a lot,
Right.
and we're talking maybe 25 years or 10 years or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then they can have maybe 2 options. Maybe the next one monthly payments.
Well, we could decide tonight what
Or
that
yearly.
number is. That way I don't have to come back with you. I know that I have your blessing to go to that level, and that's it, not beyond,
Are we also going to discuss, because we have on the agenda, like the options of, we got to have pictures, so this is not now.
So we're going to talk about ball and bounce in just a second. Yeah. But I wanted to get through this conversation first.
I'm good with it. I
if
agree
you
with
don't mind.
both of you.
mean, so what I'm understanding is, and Mrs. Marcus, what's your position on the pro rata?
Well, I didn't take any position because I didn't hear about it until just now, but I would like to just talk in general about this whole idea, which I think I'm not ever seeing a lot of interest, and I think that what you're proposing is going to give us a lot more interest in the project of having people commit. I only hope that once they commit and let's say they're paying so much every year, that they continue to do that and don't opt out in the middle. That would be, I hope that people are realizing that it is a commitment. That would be my thing. And I like the idea of the what you're presenting. It makes so much sense because as far as I'm concerned right now, I have not seen people flock or rushed to make commitments to this naming opportunity. At least I haven't seen many, so I like it a lot, and I think this will generate more interest. As to what Mrs. Sabag is saying, I'd like to listen to what the other members might think. I'm not so sure that I would like that, but Mr. Stewart.
I think incentives are always good. I don't see it being a a devaluing proposition by seeing where the temperature is at with what Ms. Sabag is saying, where especially on some of these big ticket items, to say, hey, you know, we'll give you 5% off, you know, if you cut the check fully. Yeah, again, I think that's business.
Well, if it's for the whole amount, you mean.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
only for the whole amount.
yeah,
I don't want to get into the accounting business.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's business. I mean, people that can cut checks look to be treated a bit better than someone else. So I don't see that being, you know, obviously a big discount is a problem, but just an incentivary discount, I think that's more than fair. Especially like what Mrs. Market says, we're not in the climate right now globally for anything for people to cut big checks.
Sure.
So for those that do, I think just treating them better is you know, smart business.
Anything else?
No, I mean, to speak very directly to, let's say, for example, 5% is on the table as a discount for payment in full for the 25-year term, I would be open to that.
Okay, so we're comfortable with 5%, just so I'm clear. And I've got your blessing to go to 5%
Yeah.
off.
Okay.
Unless-
And then otherwise pro rata.
Is there anything else that you wanted to bring? You said there was something else that you wanted to bring before the board.
Yeah, so I'm sorry again that maybe the agenda didn't reflect everything I wanted to talk to you about, but this will be quick. We have a potential corporate naming, and
We have a what?
a potential corporate naming. And according to our April meeting, you did request that I bring any corporate namings to you for approval. And so I wanted to share with you the photos you have in your packet. Ball and Bounce, the the ball place, has approached us about naming each of the elementary school playgrounds. At El Rodeo, it's the small kindergarten playground and then the regular playground at Horace Mann. So they are requesting your approval to name the playground at each school. They have mocked up for us some options of where their logo could appear. So this was a whole discussion in April, if you remember, that we talked about. We need to look at each company's logo. Does it associate with the area they're trying to sponsor? And are you okay with logos? The whole thing. So I just wanted to take you through that. If you see this first slide, they were proposing putting their logo, and this is a rough, raw photo, so it wouldn't look like this in the final product, but it is a close rendering. They were proposing putting it on the bench that is facing as you walk up El Rodeo to the front door. The only issue we have with that is that bench has been named. So that's really not an option to put their name on the bench because that would conflict with the agreement with the bench naming. However, we could look at something else nearby the bench, like maybe on a stand or something that's right near it. So that's one option. The other option for El Rodeo in particular is on the slides. And you can see where they have, superimposed where their logo would go kind of down the slides. So those are the two options for El Rodeo. But again, we can be creative with where it goes. And this is Horace Mann. Horace Mann has these pillars with the protected padded covers, and they would like them on those if you approve. So I welcome your thoughts.
What's their proposed contribution for this?
So I have to go back to them. Now that I know what my parameters are on negotiating terms, I need to go back with them and talk about terms and how long they would like this for and what that would be. They are listed publicly. This is public knowledge. They are listed at $150,000 each for 25 years. I don't believe that's where we're headed with this particular naming, and I don't know that that would be appropriate even for this particular naming. But I would use the formula we just talked about.
Yeah, the
with
pro
them.
rata.
Yes, exactly.
Or the 5%
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
the full. Got you. Do you have any questions?
I believe I know this, Brent. I think my daughter's been to a birthday party or two at the.
And they're BHUSD parents, actually.
And alumni, I should mention.
alum, yeah.
So this gentleman, Bobby, who graduated through the system, he went to Horace Mann actually as his elementary, but they have kids at El Rodeo. So just as a side note, but they are a local business that a lot of kids attend.
Yeah, no, I think they're a great business. I'm not a fan of the benches, but obviously you said that those were already named, so we're gonna have to look at something else.
Correct.
I just on the corporate things, and trust me, I'm a corporate person, so I don't mind the corporate sponsorships, but I think especially of a business of this nature, and maybe this is something that can be talked about, but I think just slapping a logo on a slide might not even represent their brand well enough. I think maybe if there is something to be done with them, because they are such a kid-friendly business, that maybe there's something that we could add on to the playground structure that is more kind of complementary to what they do, so that it doesn't really need to affect the structures that we have now. And honestly, I would love to pop into one of their facilities again just to take a look at what they do, to maybe have some thoughts. So I'm definitely not against it. I think they're a great brand, and obviously, having the family being so close knit to us is great. I just don't know if just slapping logos on slides gives them the representation that they'd want.
I'm sure they would love something more substantial. I think he was trying to be discreet, to be
No,
honest.
of course.
Knowing that.
I just know how many, these things get worn out quickly and they look dirty, and
Sure.
and it just kind of looks like you're slapping a logo on something that never should have been there. But because they are in the playground space, maybe there's something we can do for them under the right terms that actually is something separated that matches what they do more.
Sure.
So when they're playing on that, they can go down to their facility and play on a similar type thing.
I'm
So.
sure they would love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm also open to the ball and bounce idea. I know this family, our students are having birthday parties at Ball and Bounce. They're enjoying Ball and Bounce. They're, a family-owned operation that continues to grow. And so I do think it would be appropriate for the playground areas. I do agree with Trustee Stewart that what's being presented is kind of minimalistic, but I'm not even sure it really does justice to their potential donation. So I'm willing to consider it in different ways. I just wanted to remind everybody that this time last year we added a play area at Horace Mann. So from what I recall, we actually have 2 play areas at Horace Mann. What I'm seeing you suggest is the little kid play area, essentially the TK Kinder of El Rodeo, which I think is really appropriate. That's their clientele.
Right.
That's their crowd. And then I wondered if they are even aware that there is a little kid playground area at Horace Mann.
That is a good question. I was actually with him when we walked over to take some photos and look around, and we only went to this one area, so I don't believe he is.
Yeah.
So we can take him back over.
So yeah, he might only be aware of this one.
Okay.
And for example, maybe his kids have gone to camp at Horace Mann and they've played on this one. But last year when we added a small playground area, he might want it to be on that one so it mirrors the El Rodeo location. So I'm open to this. I think it's appropriate. I just would want on the business contracts for there to be like a sooner of language, so that, for example, if the business, God forbid, the business closes down, then maybe the name comes down too.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mrs. Sabag.
Yes. So I have a couple things. I agree with Mr. Stewart and Mrs. Manicherry, but I would say instead of having the way it is on the slide, I would like to play with maybe a different idea. Since they're in the playground, you know, that's their area, play area. Maybe we can figure out where they can donate, construct an area on each school site and have a naming. So the naming would be less, but they would actually pay for the construction as donating it to the school. And our kids can use it rather than just see their names. I think I just looked
great.
through their site. I saw a lot of pictures. And I think if we have a designated area, which they would pay for that, and then they would pay for the construction, I think it would be a win-win for both.
Great idea.
Because as it looks now, where they have their name on the slide, it basically looks like that's their slide. They own the slide, and it's part of their corporate.
I would agree that this doesn't scream, we've sponsored this playground. It is a little more of an afterthought. And I do think it was just kind of a quick, like, let me just show them our logo and where it could go. And again, trying to be discreet, I think, because I did impress upon him that, you know, we're all a little gun shy on corporate namings and we're sticking a toe in right now. So I
'Cause
think
they
that
have,
was the,
yeah, they have a climbing wall. They have swings. They have a lot of things
well, we
going
can
on.
certainly
you
explore
know,
all that.
But can I respond to you on that? I wouldn't want to commit to doing any construction in exchange for their contribution, just because after going with Mr. Karat through the shade endeavors that we went through, it took a really long time just to get DSA to allow us to, he's nodding his head, to install some shade structures. So I understand what you're saying, let's
like
elevate.
with the permits and
Yes,
everything,
it
just
took
get
a-
it through.
Yeah, so you're saying let's elevate what the play
So
yard
that
is?
our students can actually take part of it and
Yeah.
enjoy it rather than just see the name of it.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah, of
interject some
course.
thoughts here? Well, I am also in agreement about the lack of showing where this money comes from. And I also think that there should be in the area somewhere a plaque that says that this area has been named for bounce and ball or whatever. You could have some balls all over, but I really feel that you're doing injustice to a person that's going to give you what, $300,000, $150 for each playground, and you're not going to put up a wall, something that's going to give their name. I don't agree with that. So that would be my only comment. I don't mind pictures of those balls and things like that, but that meant nothing to me. And I think there should be something there that is substantial to let the people know that there's some people that had really generously donated money to for the project. So,
So the-
that would be my only comment on that.
Yeah.
And as far as constructing something new, no, I'm not in favor of that right now. Let's get done what we have to get done in the district period. So, thank you.
It wouldn't be construction. It would be just putting it like
Like
you
a
know?
ball pit or something like that. Is that where you're headed? Like,
I'm not
Okay.
so
But,
sure. It would
I think that
require
kind of matches though what I was saying, that like something a bit
Yeah.
more
okay.
that matches their brand.
Well, let me
that
go back
It's
with him
not
and brainstorm a
constructing.
little. But it really, we just had to get past the hurdle of, are you guys okay with this sort of corporate naming for these playgrounds, you know? So we can work through details. So I don't want to take
Thank
too
you.
much time.
I think
We'll
you got your
we'll be
green light.
back with more details
Okay.
Thank you.
once we get it.
Well, one last thing, if you don't mind, I apologize, but this is a follow-up to our last meeting as well. You had asked me some questions last time that I want to answer very quickly. You asked me about the baseball field, the naming, and we didn't have the naming on the sheet. It is the Zakim is the last name, yes. And that is a 25, did I say it incorrectly? I'm sorry. Judy, Zach. Oh,
It was said to me as Zachheim.
oh, apologies. Okay,
Yeah.
Zachheim. Apologies. And that was a 25-year contract. Yes, contract. Also, you asked where our money goes, and you were the first people to hear these numbers. We just reconciled our fiscal year. My own board hasn't even heard these numbers. That's how hot off the presses they are. But really quickly, we have given about $216,000 in the last fiscal year to the school district. Bulldog Aid, 10,000, PBIS, 5,000, VAPA, 40,000, Norman Aid, 29,000, Bulldog Aid, 10,000, Robotics, 25,000, College Counseling, 9,000, Innovative Teacher Grants, 15,000, and we just approved 20,000 for this school year. Science Fair, 2,000, Scholarships, 16,000, Lunchtime Activities, 55,000, and then of course AYSO has given 250,000. So I just wanted to give you that update because you asked last time, and
Thank you
those are the
very,
numbers.
very much, Ms.
Thank
Dick.
you for the time.
Wonderful, doing a great job.
Thank
you. Okay, we can now move on to the consent calendar. No, we have public comment. If these ladies are not here, then I'm going to be able to give everybody at least 3 minutes. Jessica Yamini. No, okay, thank you. Josephine Afari. Melody Yashapur. Now we have Ada Horwich speaking to an item not on the agenda. Ada, are you here, Ms. Horwich? Thank you. Please come forward and speak into the mic. You have 3 minutes, Ada. Come closer to the mic so I can hear you. They don't have to hear it. Yeah, I do.
You have to push it on.
He's Johnny.
I even
He's
needed
so
help for that.
unbelievable.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So thank you for allowing me to speak. Good evening, and my name is Ada Horwich. I have been tell me if you can't hear. I've been a resident in Beverly Hills for over 50 years. That's 50 years. My husband and I bought a home here in 1973 that was beyond our budget. And the reason we spent beyond our budget is because of the public school system in Beverly Hills from K to 12. It was known as the best, and we wanted the best for our girls. By best, this is what we meant. It was top of the line teachers who were well educated and knowledgeable. There were educational experts in important fields. There were creative classes and creative performances. There intellectually challenging environment. There was a top-level superintendent and a forward-thinking faculty and administrators. One of the best teachers that each of my girls had the great opportunity to experience was Rochelle Marcus. I think we all know her. She was their science teacher, actually, here at Hawthorne. She taught and instilled in her students an appreciation and respect for the earth and our environment. Another educator here at Hawthorne taught history through the lens of our forefathers and other American leaders. Our children learn through that the importance of continuing our historic democracy in the United States. Open discussions were encouraged and taught the students to think on their own and develop independent critical thinking skills that prepared them for college and beyond. How can students learn about our nation and history without learning about the political systems that built our nation? Do we really want to stop children from reading newspapers and discussing current national and world events in the classroom? Is that really education? Do you want to stop teaching democracy and modeling democracy in the classroom? The policy implemented by the Beverly Hills School Board on July 16th is unconscionable to me. The loss of free speech means the loss of developing critical thinking in our student population. Furthermore, asking staff members to report violations is reminiscent of Nazi Germany and the McCarthy era.
Are you almost
The
finished?
reputation of Beverly Hills schools is rapidly declining, and this latest decision by the board is only furthering this decline. In addition, this policy was implemented by the board during the summer, as you can see, when teachers are off of work and most of the community, students, parents, and faculty are out of town. Were you hoping that this would slide by unnoticed? We are watching. We understand. We cannot and will not ignore your effort to silence free speech in our community.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you very much. Gay Abrams, are you here? Thank you. You have 3 minutes when you start, Gay. Thank you very much.
First of all, I do want to, before we say, I want to say my thoughts are with Ms. Stern, and I hope that everything is okay. I hope that she is healthy and well.
Thank
I was very upset about that. Anyway, good evening. My name is Gay Abrams, and I'm a resident of Beverly Hills, as you know. BHUSD was established in 1935. There were many controversial topics in the past 9 decades. So why now is a new standards-based instructional environment board policy been introduced? The implication is that you do not trust the teachers. Ms. Sagali claims that her new policy will not discourage conversation about sensitive topics and will not stop the teachers from teaching. Yet 7 teachers came to the board meeting last week and clearly contradicted Ms. Sagali, explaining how this policy will negatively affect their ability to teach in their classrooms. Instead of listening to the teachers who have years of academic training and experience in their classrooms, their sentiments were dismissed. This board is focused on reinforcing that teachers must stay impartial in leading controversial topics, yet I have witnessed board members fail to comply. Ms. Sabag in the past has made statements such as, most BLM members are white college students funded by billionaire George Soros, and linking BLM to anti-Semitism, and has continued to use the subject of BLM to push through this new policy. Ms. Manchuri, with all due respect, made a statement at last week's board meeting about her disappointment that the teachers did not address the CTA and that they broke ties with ADL, which was completely off topic. I am concerned that Ms. Sagali and Ms. Manchuri pushed through this policy over the summer based on their own bias while ignoring the sentiments of their professional teaching staff. I understand and share legitimate fears of anti-Semitism. I do. I also understand legitimate fears of parents that are concerned about material that might be inappropriate. But we need to prepare students for the world they will be facing, not only to be successful and prosperous, but to be good citizens with shared values and ethics with tolerance and empathy. We need to trust our teachers to guide our students through controversial topics. This new policy that was approved will not help prepare our students for our complicated world. It won't improve academic achievement. It will reinforce an atmosphere of fear and intimidation, and teachers will self-censor. Frankly, what teacher will take the time to write an application for a blue ribbon for Beverly Hills when they feel distrusted and demeaned? You will not attract the best and brightest, nor will it help the reputation of our school district. I fear that some parents will leave the district or choose to enroll their children in private school. That is already occurring. I will end with saying, I appeal to this board to collaborate with your teachers, listen, learn, and focus on offering our students the opportunity to learn the full range of human experience and ideas. Do not let your fears and personal ideology affect your sincere efforts to improve BHUSD.
Thank you very much, Ms. Abrams.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Judith Chan. I'm the vocal music teacher at Horace Mann. I'm here to speak about Mrs. Sabat's reference to me, in particular, her false allegations against me and when she proposed this new board policy. I'm also here to explain why this policy is particularly problematic coming from her, and her claim that this policy protects the teachers cannot be more far-fetched. I agree with Dr. Stern, who did characterize the policy as quasi-censoring teachers, and I hope she's going to be okay. So back in 2022, during the pandemic, during a regular music class around Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday and Black History Month, I taught a lesson focused on the song We Shall Overcome. I'm sure you all know that song, the song that I teach all the time during that same period of time. We watch a cartoon of Dr. Martin Luther King. It's a short cartoon that talks about his life, what he accomplished as a civil rights movement's leader. And then after that, a fourth grader asked a question, what are civil rights movements? And I was surprised that the little kid didn't know this previously from learning in their other classrooms. So I did not offer the answer. I asked the class to contribute. And so one kid raised their hand. It's like Rosa Parks. She did not want to move her seat, go to another seat. And the other kid said, it's like Black Lives Matter with George Floyd. And then we talk about what is the definition of civil rights, the rights to do what. And then we move on to other music activities. Somehow, now I taught different lessons in the school with the upper grades. I did not teach this to the 500 kids as Mr. Sabat claimed, because it really is for the upper grades to learn the song. It's not a song that the little kids can sing. But somehow when she filed a complaint, actually she didn't file a complaint. She criticized me in a public comments board meeting. Quote, she took it upon herself to teach her kids about Black Lives Matter and racism during her whole class. And she did it to all her kids. Later on, she also said, my children love music, and they do not appreciate listening to BLM during music. I just want you to know that. So the next day, she put the complaint in writing, and now the complaint had changed to, I put teaching music aside in order to indoctrinate these children with my belief during a disturbing lesson to all 500 students. The HR asked her to talk to me about her complaint. She wouldn't talk to me about it. She wouldn't have any meeting with me about it. The district investigated, and they found all the claims that she had against me were unsubstantiated. So, Mr. Stewart, when you asked her in the meeting that what happened to the music teacher, I was surprised that she did not volunteer to give you the information that I was clear from any wrongdoing. And watching the whole meeting, the way you guys discuss this, and she used this as an example to justify why this policy is needed, is very traumatic and disturbing. She also submitted an article to the newspaper with my name in it with these false claims as well. So to explain why this policy is going to make it worse, I'm going to tell you why. Because without this policy, I have already self-censored myself for the last 3 years. I stopped teaching the song. I stopped talking about Dr. Martin Luther King in my music class. Even that's what music teachers do, because it's actually a standard. And I provided you with documentation in the letter I sent to you on July the 5th, with clear documentation of what the standards are and why I did what I did in the lesson. But because parents and students do not necessarily know the scope of all the teaching standards and how we teach them. And so when you hear a student go home and say, oh, today we talk about BLM, well, that become a problem, that become a complaint and an investigation. And this controversial subject, as you all mentioned, we are supposed to stay neutral and impartial, correct? So just because the word DEI or BLM are mentioned in the class, whether it's by a teacher or by the student in this case, shouldn't be sounding the alarm bell that we should go through a complaint and an investigation. And I'm just wondering, what are we going to do now with this policy? So you're going to have the principal to interview a third grader and ask them, what did the teacher say 3 weeks ago? And based on that testimony, we will be disciplined of anything that happened in the classroom. How can we not be afraid? This is why my colleagues spoke about it last time. Now, I know the policy is already passed, but my question to you is, you know, how are we going to use this to improve our students' performance? Because the students need to know about these subject matters. I may not be necessarily the teacher to teach them all, but there are other teachers, the English teacher, the social studies teacher. These discussions will come up. And the policy, I know you took out that one sentence about teachers reporting each other, but the policy is protecting people who complain. Like you guys talk about the retaliation against people who complain. But these kind of complaints scare the teachers. I am an example of how scared I was, even though, you know, you did not want to talk to me, Mrs. Sabat, and I have no time, no way to talk to you about to resolve the issue. And you went on to paper, newspaper, and public platform to kind of ruin my reputation, to make it sound like I'm not a good music teacher. I put teaching music aside to just teach politics. So that's how you spin the tale. So it's 6 minutes already, and my last comment. We are very fearful, and we know that teachers are to remain impartial and neutral when they present controversial subjects. But the rule should apply to board members as well. And I'm afraid that we have members who are using their power to push their own agenda. And this policy simply will not help the students and the teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chen. Thank you. Are there any others?
Nope, not for me. I so move.
Thank you, Ms. Do I have Mrs. Manicherry moved without B, C, D, and H? Do I have a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Sabag. Okay, all those in favor of the motion eliminating B, C, D, and H, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4. Thank you very much. Okay, I make a motion to approve the certificated personnel report. Can I get a second to the motion? Can I get a second?
I second.
Thank you. Can I know who pulled that, please? Mrs. Manicherry, I believe you pulled that.
No, I actually have nothing to pull
Oh, you
tonight,
didn't?
Mrs. Marcus. It's a small miracle.
Okay, then did anybody pull B? Oh, that's a mistake. Okay, I'll
Mrs.
call.
Sabag, did you pull B?
Did you pull B?
You know, actually, I apologize. When in the board Q&A, I wanted to pull it, but my
That's
questions.
why I had it there.
Thank you. My questions were adequately answered, and thank you for the answers. But I didn't write it down, so
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. But I saw that when I.
yes. So
Okay.
should I make a motion to approve?
Well,
B?
we took a motion. All I need is approval to approve item B.
Okay.
I have the motion. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, I make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with Daniel Janulitis. I hope I said that right. Do I have a second for the motion?
I make a second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Who pulled that one?
I had originally pulled it, and we can continue to vote on it, but I do want to make one comment, which is that we are going to have LMFTs, one assigned for each school. I think it's really important to note this because it's something like $400,000 to $600,000 a year. I think it very much demonstrates the board and the district's commitment to the well-being of its students. And Dr. Chernus, my one request of you in regard to the 4 that I assume that we're going to have on ultimately is if you can please ensure that the principals and whoever else needs to is offering these resources to our students. I would hate for them to be available, but for the matchmaking to not happen. Thank you.
Okay, any other? Those in favor of number C, letter C, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 4-0. Thank you.
I make a second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry.
Yeah.
I'm calling for a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a second already.
Okay.
I know that.
Mrs. Marcus?
It was pulled when I called for those items to be pulled, and that was one of them that I mentioned. So now I'm asking, I got a motion to approve this, and I'm asking for the comment on it before we would go to vote on it. Okay, thank you. So I think you pulled this, correct?
I think both of us.
I'm happy to discuss this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Trustee Stewart, do you have any comments on this?
Nope.
I just want to thank you, Dr. Hasty, and of course, Heather, thank you for joining us tonight. I know a lot of work has gone into this. What I'm understanding is that this is a little bit of a thinking outside of the box approach, which is to bring this in-house and really take control over it. I will tell you that because it's an unknown, I do have my hesitations. But I'm thinking, because the burden becomes more on us in a lot of ways. So on one hand, I really appreciate the courage to do this in a different and hopefully a better way. On another hand, it scares me a little bit because there's a little bit more that could go wrong. So now I just want to talk about, let's say it does go wrong, or we're not able to support this program in the way that we might hope or envision. Is our backup plan to go back to, for temporarily backup plan, is that we could go back to the meals that we're serving right now?
So we can, worst case scenario, we could always go to a cold kosher combo that we can prepare ourselves. That would not be vendor approved, or, it would be through it would be in compliance.
Or we could do the hot kosher meals that we've done this
correct.
year off-site.
So the contract that was proposed had two options. And so that was the critical piece of this. If we cannot do the kosher kitchen for whatever reason, but right now we know we can, because we did our research, we got the rabbinical council that's looked at this, they've said it's good to go. But if they couldn't, we would definitely, the hot lunches could be delivered like previously, which based on the survey data and feedback we have, that was one of our biggest areas of growth as a program.
Agreed. Okay, let me ask it in a different way. So school starts on August 12th, but can we start our preparation and cooking several days prior to August 12th, so that when August 12th, it's not that I'm wanting to spend or waste any dollars, it's that I would love to see this be a success, and therefore the first day should not be the first day.
As soon as you guys approve this, we will be meeting with the vendor, and the vendor will be working with us immediately, because we have to prep. There is a process to kosherize the kitchen, and that has to start immediately, and that would start immediately.
Okay, and I'm confirming the kitchen, in that case, if it's kosher, is it also considered halal?
Let me double check.
Halal?
Halal. What would you consider halal, Heather? We'll have to double check.
Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Sabag, any comment?
Yes, so basically in regards to the kitchen, I did see the comments, which I appreciate. Thank you for that. And I'm trying to figure out which direction to go personally, because I feel like when we have the prepackaged foods, they were either soggy or too much,
Our ultimate goal is to get away from the prepackaged foods.
Okay.
We want fresh, cooked, kosher meals for our students.
Okay, so do we propose to do the kitchen? You
100%.
Okay, so it is a good idea to do the kitchen.
And we will have our staff in there monitoring this. And again, I will remind, even if we agree to this contract, we can RFP and for the next year as well, and possibly look at another vendor as well.
But doing the kitchen, can we hire our own staff and cook?
We looked into that. The problem with true kosher food, we have to have a rabbi, and I think the term is Meshiga, that would have to be to do this.
Yes.
Sorry if my pronunciation is
No, that's okay. So in regards to that, what people usually do, like in restaurants and stuff, is they come every now and then. Yeah. So you just pay as you go, I think. I'm not a professional in that. But
excuse me, what isn't that the responsibility of the kosher meals to handle that?
No, but we're gonna do it ourselves.
Hold on. No, what I'm saying is the vendor Okay, so the vendor working with us in this contract is the rabbi and would be able to provide the direct service and would be actually in
So is that
the
kosher
kitchen.
grill?
Yes,
Talking
yes,
about?
they will be in our kitchen working with us.
So you think there's going to be a difference if
Yes,
because we're changing
because
it?
we are using higher quality foods that are our food that they can work with instead of what we're just getting in those packages that come to
Can
us.
we? Are we signing a contract for like a year, basically?
It'd be 1 year.
So we can try it for 1 year.
Correct.
And if it doesn't work out, we can change it next year.
Correct.
Okay, I think I'm good with that. Mrs. Monticelli? Yeah. So we'll try it for 1 year, and if it doesn't work out, we can change it?
Yeah, I personally, with all the hard work that's gone into it, I'm ready to, I don't think it's rolling the dice. I'm ready to step in this new direction. And I believe that we're a small enough school district where if we're seeing that something is going in the, not as we would hope, we could immediately communicate with our team and address any concerns.
And also, since we're doing it, can we treat it the same like the kitchen that we already have, and we don't have to have the parents sign up? We could just do the food, or do you still want the parents
What do you mean by the volunteers?
Do you remember? No. Remember the menu?
Dr. Hasty wasn't here for that.
The menus?
When we first started, we did it based on ordering.
No, even the last year, right at the end of the year.
No, before, I think.
Few months before. Oh, maybe
we stopped
Yeah, we
ordering
stopped doing all the
and
ordering.
we just would have enough.
Yeah.
We would.
This would be a
yeah.
distribution. The food be prepped, cooked, done here, and then distributed to the
And can we
sites.
change the menu, or can we survey the families?
Absolutely.
And see, because
Yes, that's something we plan to do
because
annually as
personally,
part of our
my own
strategic
kids won't eat it, and I think it's sad because
Yeah.
we offer it
Yes.
because of the way it's not tasty to them. So if we can kind of figure that out, that would be great.
Yes, the plan will be to have an annual survey and
Okay.
get the feedback, and we'll definitely do that.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh,
Thank
you'll
you.
be getting your feedback,
Yeah.
Trustee Sabag.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Don't you worry.
I have to just make one comment. I saw a list of meals that were planned for like 2 weeks over with a variety of things, and I thought they looked like a great selection with chicken and beef and other things, and I really thought it looked like a real winner, and that if it's going to be prepared right here in the kitchen at this school, I think that I know they've spent a lot of time in preparation and money to prepare that kitchen, and I know that it's been overseen by the halal and the whatever is needed, and all the implements have been kosherized, and I just think it's a winner, and I'm hoping that it will be very, very good. So I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes 4-0. Thank you very much. Okay, the last, we have to make a motion for it anyway. A motion to approve the engagement letter with McLeod Walks for OPEB actuarial valuation services. I make a motion. Do I have a second?
I will.
Oh, Mr. Stewart. Okay, thank you. Okay, I just need to know who pulled this.
I inadvertently pulled it based on the Q&A. And so maybe now we need to reconsider our processes and procedures. But we can call for the vote if you like.
Thank you.
Unless
All right.
anyone has discussion.
I just want to make a quick comment that I'm glad that people are now reading the Q&A and saving some time on the consent calendar. So thank you very much for agreeing to all of that. Okay, all those in favor of the engagement letter with McLeod Watts with the OPEB?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'm an aye. Yes, so that's 4-0. Thank you very much. And did anybody, we pulled H. Is there anybody that wants to speak to H before I'll call for the motion. I'll call for the motion for the approval of H, ratification of a purchase order. Is there, who seconded?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Manicherry. Who pulled? Thank you. Who pulled the ratification of purchase order report number 2?
I did.
Thank you.
Dr. Hasty? Okay, so just a little bit, a couple questions. On Lowe's. So FSY, what is that referring to next to the date or the years? It says Lowe's open PO
Oh,
25.
25, 26 fiscal school year.
Okay. So I'm curious to know when we're purchasing such items like Lowe's, do we just have not to exceed amount?
Exactly. Typically, we do a purchase order. It's an open PO with the company like Lowe's or Home Depot, and then throughout the year, we'll purchase supplies as needed. It's really our supply company, and so that's how it works.
Okay. And then are you, because I'm so used to doing this, I'm not used to this part of just approving things. I'm used to looking into details and digging deep. And as a board member, we don't do that. So I'm just curious, when you have the maintenance crew, do they go by themselves to Lowe's, or do you order it online, or how does it work exactly?
I'm gonna wait. Let me defer, but I'm gonna say typically there may be crew that can stop and pick things up, and then they bring the receipts in, and then they would be done.
That's why I'm asking. So do you look at the receipts?
And I'm gonna wait for Will to correct me if I say
Do you see the merchandise? Do we take note of the merchandise? Let's say they buy 10 gallons of paint.
Yep.
Do we see the 10 gallons of paint, have it on the shelf, mark it off, and say, here's the receipt? Yeah, that's really bad.
For standard supplies, I don't
Maybe if you move to that.
Yeah, I'm
chair.
okay. I don't technically go and look to see that all 10 cans of paint were there. But any supply purchases that are out of the ordinary, I do make it a point to look at it and will make it a point, actually.
So that's my concern. Personally, as a businesswoman, and people make mistakes. It just happens. And I'm very weary of just, if something is out of the ordinary, then we'll check it. I would rather have a, how do you call it when you count, what is on inventory?
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. So I would rather have an inventory, a list, because we have Lowe's, we have, we have so many places where we purchase things, and we don't know, at least I don't know if you know or not, where are the items, what's the inventory, then you see the receipts, where has it gone? In other words, it could be going anywhere and we don't even know. So I just want to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's with everything.
I want to make sure that the process though. So if I need a wrench and I need to go to Home Depot to get a certain wrench to work on something, I would go to Home Depot. I have an open purchase order or Lowe's, and I could purchase the wrench. I would take it to work, and then I would inventory it within the tool shed that we have.
Yes.
Now, typically though, we don't always keep track of all inventory under $100, but supplies such as paint and things like that, we would have an area that we would keep those items if there was surplus thereof. And so, for the most part, from what I've seen, and we can definitely follow up on the protocol, but even then when I get that receipt then goes to the supervisor. They would sign off on that receipt and invoice, and that's how we end up paying the PO as needed. But as far as inventory of supplies, basic supplies, we keep track, and we're looking at that every day. So yeah, we can definitely nail down the actual protocol for everything. And I think it's
important because we could be losing thousands of dollars, and of course we're a district where there is a lot of money, but we should be looking at everything, at least be organized in a way that everything is accounted for.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, because I brought up the same question with my staff, because I wasn't 100% sure on how they've been handling it before June 30th or July 1st. So
yeah,
we
I'll give you an
revisited
example. When many years ago, when I was handling relatives' business, he asked me to come and help out. They had the employees with credit cards, right? You give them out, and our company would pay for the gas, right? And we'd pay for everything. So I would ask, where are the receipts? Let's see the receipts. Let's compare what's going on. Make a really long story short, it ended up they bought gas for their wife and their son. And, it's like, you have to make sure it's accountable. And then all of a sudden, the bank made a mistake of 10,000 gone. So it's not a matter of just looking at the receipts. It's a matter of making sure whose receipts are they? Do they make sense? Do we have the inventory? Because it's the district is part of a business that we need to keep track.
I agree.
So then I have a couple here. Let me see. 310,000 for therapy, travel.
Yep.
Yeah. So
That
it's a
was,
special education. So my question is that I'm assuming we approved it
yes. Went to board.
and then it was okay. So my question is, when we approve these contracts, are we paying them up front before they do anything?
No.
Okay.
Therapy travelers will do a monthly invoice.
Okay.
Mr. Wardrope will sign off on the services. I sign off on the amounts, and then they go in our. And the way we pay that is through the PO.
One quick
Yes.
to add to that. They have to submit their receipts in order to be reimbursed.
Yeah. Which is their
Okay.
invoice. They invoice us, and they have their service on the invoice. How many kids they met with, who they met with, all that's in there.
Okay, yeah, because also I see swing education here
Yep.
again for 140,000. Want to make sure we're obviously utilizing them. And what is Arsenio Risk Group?
That was for we were doing some file retention, trying to find some old files, and they're really good at finding the files, and
Oh,
we're using
okay.
them.
Is that Dr. Chernus? Is that okay? Fantastic. They're worth every penny. So it's good to know. And Operation Gate System.
That is our gate company. They do a lot of things, but I don't know what particular one this is, but I believe it's the adjustments we made
6,726 for technology.
Actually,
for Operation Gate. Would have
Let
been
me
It's
see.
11,250.
Yeah, so that one is
Operation-
the adjustments. made.
11,250. So I think I was talking about the one underneath.
Okay.
Okay, so
Technology. It says, yeah, Operation Gate System.
Are you talking? Well, there's Operation Gate System that Noah was talking about. The
Let me
one
see.
under it for 6,726 was probably the purchase of some Apple computers, which would have been for the new staff we've had.
Okay, so is that something we approved?
You would not approve typically a purchase of Apple computers for 6,000, because that wouldn't be something we bring to board, because it would have been just maybe a one-off laptop for staff and one laptop.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. I want also just to make it known to the community that we did pay for the, what is it? KBEV set remodeling, right?
Yes, I like that you said set remodeling. Yes.
Yes, 39,810.
Correct.
So I want the community to know we are very dedicated and we are all in to make KBEV the best that it can be,
Great.
right? So just wanted the community to know. And I think that's it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Passes 4-0. Okay. I need to get a motion for the approval of the agreement. Well, I'll make the motion for the approval of the agreement with VPG for the Beverly Vista Middle School field synthetic turf replacement using CMAS.
I make
It
a
doesn't need to be
second.
pulled. It's going to be pulled. It's okay. All those. I need a second.
I did.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Okay, discussion. Any discussion on this one?
Yes.
Okay, anything from you, Mrs. Manicherry?
Yes, I just want to say to Dr. Chernus, Dr. Hasty, and Mr. Karat, and also our two new athletic directors that are here tonight with us, and welcome. Thank you so much for immediately jumping in. I know that this was slated for the following year, and the money had been set aside, the $1 million, but it is a pleasure to be able to approve it tonight, and to know that in the next couple of weeks, a new and improved BVMS field will be installed. It will be, if I'm correct, 15 yards wider, which means that it will be regulation size, which means that for the first time ever, BVMS will be hosting soccer and football games. We are really looking forward to having more events, more programming, and more school pride. So thank you to everybody who's made a contribution to that end, and I will be glad to say aye on this one.
I have a comment, if I could make. This only includes the turf replacement at this time, right? Does not include the basketball courts
No.
or
That's
those
correct.
volleyball courts.
We had architects come out today for that project. That'll be coming to the board soon.
Okay, because I have heard some suggestions and opinions on that, as you know. Okay, Mrs. Sabag, do you have anything to say about that?
Yes. Yes. So on the, I don't know, did you answer the question and answers that I wrote?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
just, so the public knows.
Mhm.
So the schedule not to exceed amount, do they give you, like, are all the invoices in one doc so that when you calculate the whole thing, you know where you're at?
Yes, they provide, each vendor is a little different on our construction projects. We have a specific template we use, a payment application. On this particular project, they'll be submitting an invoice. And I imagine we'll only get 2 invoices for this project because it's less than 2 months long.
So it's going to
the
be like
first invoice-
500,000 and then 500,000 kind of thing?
Probably, you know,
Okay.
most likely something along those lines. And then they withhold retention as well. So we'll get the final retention invoice after we file a notice of completion.
Okay, and it's including liability insurance?
Yes.
Okay, and what about workers' comp? I saw there's exception.
Yeah, I saw your question about that. So the exception is just in regard to naming the district as an additional insured.
Okay.
So we're an additional insured on their general liability, but they do not have to list us on their workers' comp.
Okay, and then in regards to the contract, I didn't get a chance to look at so did you turn the logo around?
Yeah, I saw your note about that too. We'll
Okay.
make sure it's facing the correct direction. So
Okay,
before
perfect.
they fabricate the turf,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a very good suggestion.
Yeah, it would have been looking.
Yeah,
it would've
before they
looked
fabricate
strange.
the turf, they'll send us a shop drawing that we have to approve. And I
Can
already,
we as board members approve the design before it goes out? Do you want to do that?
What is the current design?
It's on the last page.
No, I mean, like, what do we currently have
Oh.
on the current fields?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you mean the actual logo you want to approve? Or the
Just
actual
the
design of
whole-
the field?
So the whole field, what's the current? I forget what the current is.
What is the
So
current logo?
Currently, there's 2 logos on the middle of each of the smaller soccer fields.
Mhm.
So now we're just putting a bigger logo in the middle of the larger field.
Yeah, I love
I think
that.
that's more appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Same
agree.
logo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It-
So
I only will ask, has Mr. Gallardian reviewed the logo just to make sure there's been no change as
that's a
we've
good idea.
gone
That's a
through the
great
intellectual?
suggestion. I will
Yeah.
review it with Colby before we approve the
Yeah.
shop
Thank you.
drawing.
So the field's going to go all the way to the basketball courts as I see it. And how is it going to work? I guess the fence of the basketball court and just an opening between the school. Did you want to?
There won't be fencing.
No,
Um,
the basketball court already has fencing.
Right, but that will come down
Oh.
when we do the new basketball
Basketball
courts.
courts.
Because we'll have to have covering,
That's right.
elevated shade. So that fencing will be down. The reason for the extension of the field is to have regulation soccer
For games.
for games, right?
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll call for the motion. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 4-0. Thank you very much. Okay, the next motion. Approval of the amendment number 2 to the agreement for professional service with cede Financial Investment Incorporation project tracking. I'm sorry. Approval of amendment number 2 to the agreement for professional services with cede Financial Investment Incorporated for project tracking and reporting services for the district bond program. I think that I have a motion. Would we get a second, please?
I make a second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Any comments or anything? Okay, call for the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 4-0, thank you. Next, a motion to approve the amendment number 2 to the agreement with Hancock Park and DeLong Incorporated for schools, facilities, grant, and consulting. Do I have a motion? I make a motion, and I have a second.
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Is there any comment? Just so that people know, this is a group of people that help us get funding for many things that come along where we may not miss them, and they know they're available, so it's a ways of finding extra money. All those approve, I'll call for the motion. All those approving, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 4-0. Approval, get a motion, make a motion to approve the amendment number 1 to the contract with Sandy Pringle Associations, DBA Pringle Group for geotechnical services from the Beverly Hills High School Upper Athletic Field. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'd like to ask, what necessitated another amendment, Mr. Carrot?
This was to cover the night work that was required. In their original proposal, they weren't anticipating us to do all this work, a lot of the work at night.
Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
4-0, thank you. Okay, item D, I make a motion to ratify the contract with Vital Inspection Services for in-plant inspection needed for Beverly Hills High School Upper Athletic Field. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Any questions, comments? None? Hearing none, I'll ask for the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. It passes 4-0. Letter E, I make a motion to approve a contract with Verdantas for air and sound monitoring services for Beverly Hills High School Grand Lawn. I make the motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. Any comments? Nope. Thank you. I'll call for the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, 4-0. Okay, approval of an amendment number 2. I call for a motion to approve the amendment number 2 to the contract with ZF Alexander Incorporation for air monitoring at the Beverly Hills High School. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Mrs. Manicherry. All those questions or comments now?
I just want to comment to our community that the hard work of the board and of course Mr. Karat, the Founder Solari team, Dr. Hasty and others is really coming to a head in the next couple weeks. I could not be more excited about handing this campus back to our students after years and years. So I thank all of you for your integrity and your care and your ambition on our behalf. What's coming up in the next couple of weeks is as follows. The first week of August, we'll have the tennis courts and the upper athletic field, which is a softball field, that will be handed back to our students and our community. Super exciting. Following that, it will begin to be the release of the B3, B4 facilities. That's going to go in 2 phases approximately. All of the instructional areas, which consist of the dance company room, the instrumental rooms, the choir rooms, essentially all performing arts types of classrooms will be ready like 2nd, 3rd week of August. And that also includes the Salter Family Theater. And then the last chunk of the puzzle, piece of the puzzle, will be the KL Peters Auditorium, which probably will come online, I would say like end of August, 1st week of September, around that time. And so we will be having a handful of our teachers moving out of their spaces at the high school in various areas and moving into the performing arts wing, which also means other programs will have better and bigger spaces. For example, robotics is moving into a different space. Some of our special ed classrooms will have good new spaces. And so this, I always say more doesn't mean better, but in this case, I think more does mean better. And it is the end of an era for us. And when B3 and B4 comes online, that also means that the front lawn will be released, and Swinnerton, who's performing the work for the new Conheim, will take the land of the front lawn and begin its work for the front lawn. We're expecting that to be completed later this year. And so the hope there is that when our students come back from winter break, give or take a couple of days, they're going to have a front lawn. Did I miss anything?
I think you nailed it.
Thank you.
So that's what's happening. That's super exciting. Thank you, everybody who was willing to make some changes to bring on a team that we can trust, that has integrity. Thank you to our team for bringing us to this point, and we have only just begun.
And I just want to say special thank you to Amin Solari and his Founder Solari team, because they're making this happen. They're really pushing hard.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Karat. Call for the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Okay, the last item on here is not a motion, but a discussion about the cleaning schedule for school opening. And I believe that Mrs. Sabag, you asked to discuss that.
Yeah, Mr. Bog, before you start, can I just introduce our new operations manager?
Yes.
Mr. Gregorio Luna, or Greg Luna, as he is asked been called. He has been a great addition to our team. I want to say he came in, he learned all the campuses almost within a few days, and he got to know the team really well, and he's working great with them. He has a great rapport with all the guys so far that I've noticed, and the ladies. And then I just want to give him one quick minute to introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. Today's my official 16th day with the district, so happy to be here. So a little bit about me is I've worked with public utilities and school districts since 2001. Most recently, I was at El Camino College. I served 2 terms there. I call them terms, but first I was ground supervisor. Ended up as interim assistant director of facilities and planning. Then I moved on to UCLA, went back to El Camino as the night operations manager there before I accepted the position here. So just wanted to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to a long tenure here.
I didn't get your name because what is your name again?
It's Gregorio Luna, but I go by Greg, whichever's easier
Greg.
to pronounce. Yeah,
Greg?
Greg's a lot
Okay.
easier.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
Mr. Stewart, any comment?
Had a chance to meet you at the high school, so it's good to see you again. Welcome aboard. We've got a lot of stuff to do, but I see that you're already well liked, and I appreciate you. But we've got a lot to do, and we're going to make everything fantastic. So you can be part of that. Thank you.
Looking forward.
Mrs. Manicherry?
Mr. Luna, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yes.
Mrs. Sabag?
Yes. Hi, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Should I start with the going through?
Yeah, I also have a PowerPoint I'm trying to share with it, put up there as well.
Okay.
There we go. I too just want to thank Greg for being a part of the team. He really has hit the ground running. His team is loving him. He knows the job very well, and it's great when we start talking about the summer. We're speaking a lot of the same language. And so up here, you're going to see some of this is cut off a little bit, but I can provide one. I can send you this, but yeah, this is only one slide, and it's just I wanted to keep it really simple. But typically, yeah, I do like those glasses. But typically, it's a pretty traditional schedule for summer cleaning, and I'm going to let Greg get into the details. But this is kind of the update. And Ms. Sabag, you can stop us any time unless you want to start with the questions, or you want to hear where we are right now.
I think maybe hear what you have,
Okay.
and then I'll. Okay.
Great. Well, I will stop there and let Greg take over because he has some of the updates on here.
Yeah. So as everybody knows, each site's a little different. So according to the screen there, like El Rodeo, there's currently 10 classrooms that are still being used for summer classes. So those obviously can't get addressed until summer's over. But the team over there is very, very hardworking, well respected. They've already got a lot of the classrooms clean, as well as, making sure we get all the American flags put in every single classroom before the first day of school. So they're working very hard on that. Horace Mann, there's currently 16 classes that are still being used for summer. I got a chance to meet, the whole team there, the grounds team. So one thing I forgot to say about myself, I'm a licensed landscape contractor, so I take all that stuff very serious. So we're gonna make sure all these schools look nice before the start of school. Most of these schools have already started the power washing. I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So I know Beverly Vista, they do have, I believe also 10 classes currently being used. So once those 10, that crew is on all over it. So they started power washing the interior courtyard area last Friday, and they're looking to wrap things up by this Friday. So if you haven't been down there, please stop by and take a look. As far as Beverly Hills High School, we have started power washing they've told me 3rd floor or 4th floor, but I guess it's 3rd and 4th, the deck. Yeah, so they started that. We're making sure that we're hitting collectively every single floor, in the building. So there are some areas, STC still needs 6 classrooms. Once those get taken care of, then we can start hitting the stairwells. So we'll start the stairwells next week, but everybody at each site is on track to make sure that things are looking nice and crisp and clean for the start of the school year.
No, it's just one slide. That's where we're at right now. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So I'd like to go over a couple things. So in regards to the high school and Beverly Vista Middle School and Horace Mann, at first in our last meeting, I said the high school and Beverly Vista, and then a parent corrected me and said Horace Mann only has one janitor that doesn't clean all the time, the bathrooms. So I'd like to get that checked. So she said their bathrooms are not
Did she
properly cleaned.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
So I want to make sure that there's toilet seat covers, toilet paper, paper towels. I want to make sure that there's mirrors above every sink, and that the stalls have doors like we discussed, right? And if we can have pictures, the board, of before and after, or at least of what's going on, and then
Yeah, I saw that. So it might be hard to get some of the before pictures now because a lot of them have been cleaned. But
that would be
we can
great.
take some pictures.
So we can see the difference. And then also, Chrissy, to put like a document of everything that needs to be done and just check off what you did do so the board can see that. That would be great. And also vape detectors, smoke detectors, maybe a sign, no vaping, or whatever will happen to you. Do we have any violations, like a citation? I don't know how you put it for the students. Like a sign, no vaping, no.
Oh, you're just saying signs that.
No vaping, no smoking. I don't know if anybody smokes anymore, but just like a sign for the students in the high school and the middle school,
Yeah, we can check the
unfortunately.
signs.
Yeah. And okay, so in regards to the pressure washing, so the high school, we have stairs in the parking lots that are really dirty. All the stairs going all the way up, and the science building also, all the stairs. Just make sure everything's pressure washed. In regards to all the concrete, basically pressure washed. And then also Beverly Vista, same thing. Stairs outside, concrete outside. And then all the benches and the seats and the tables, because I toured the high school. If we can make sure they're all pressure washed, cleaned, I don't know, whatever gets the dust. And also the vending machines, inside, around it, outside, everything. And I wanted to know, when's the last time we did do the pressure wash? It would be good to know, and maybe make a log for that, so that 5 years from now, if any future board member asks, we do have it logged. And what about disinfecting, the cafeterias? Because in COVID, we disinfected everything, but viruses and everything are still, they don't go away. So that would be great. And the filters and all the water fountains, make sure that they're working. This is something for you, as the water bottles, but I think maybe you already discussed that. Okay, and the AC units, I don't know, is that something that you do also? Make sure all the ACs are working?
Typically, annually, we're checking the filters. We have HVAC staff that will go around and check the filters and change the filters out.
Okay, and all the windows and the lighting, operational, repair, whatever needs to be done?
Correct.
And then how often do we clean the rooms? Like, I know we change the trash, but do they dust? Do they clean?
They high dust. They clean the desktops. The floors. So like during school session, it's a little hard. Like right now, when the rooms are empty, they call it top to bottom cleaning, where everything gets addressed. The floors, everything. If they need to get.
They do that daily, or how often?
Well, once it's completed for the beginning of school, and then obviously every night when the custodian goes in there, they'll assess the room. If it needs spot mopping, they'll spot mop. If it needs an entire mop, they're gonna mop, because they want to provide a clean.
For unused classrooms in the summer, they're going to do top to bottom. They're wiping everything down. They'll be washing the carpets. They clean all those. So that's called the deep cleaning.
And I don't know in the windows if they have blinds, deep cleaning.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to know how many janitors do we have per school? Like, how does it work? Do we have enough? Does the board need to know if we need more janitors? Or do we have too many? Are they doing, like Mr. Stewart, when you did KBEV, you saw what janitors were doing or what helpers were doing, so you got firsthand knowledge in that. He can disclose, whatever that is. But how many do we have?
Well, we most certainly don't have too many, I'll say that.
Okay.
We have a good amount. I'd say we do have 2 custodians we still have to hire and conduct interviews for to replace the ones that retired recently. We also have a lead at the high school for the athletics department. That's another one we need to hire. But I think when we make those hires, we're going to be pretty well covered. I'll let Greg maybe
Okay.
talk on that.
Yeah, no, Will's right. Once we make those few hires, we should be well staffed enough. Obviously, El Rodeo doesn't need as many as the high school. So the high school, we did have a few retire, and that goes with the groundskeepers as well. We had a senior lead groundskeeper retire. So once everything gets finished up, we're gonna definitely need some help. It's because it's a bit much for one groundskeeper to maintain, but.
So do we have just one groundkeeper for each campus?
For each of the other schools besides the high school, yes.
So the high school has 2, and the elementary and middle school has 1?
1, yes.
Well, I would think we need 2 at least, no?
Not typically for groundskeeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are we all finished on that subject now? Okay, thank
I
you.
have just a couple of things to add, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first, Trustee Sabaga, I wanted to thank you for bringing this up because actually, I have a 7-year-old little chicken nugget who was at Beverly Vista for camp and was coming home black head to toe. And that's not an exaggeration. So thank you for bringing it up because I meant to and I forgot myself. So thanks for all the power washing. I just wanted to encourage you to really get to know your principals as well as possible because once the school year hits, they'll be the ones that are really communicating the school site needs with you. And I'm sure will educate you on the processes. In the last couple of years, the board and our administrative leadership team has made a really huge effort and we've added maintenance and operations to our strategic plan. So I'm sure you're going to start hearing about that. We've gotten very technical and very organized about it. So I just would encourage you to familiarize yourself with that and really please connect with your principals so that you're meeting, the site's needs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Manicherno. Thank you, Mrs. Sabat. Okay, there's no motion on that, so.
Sorry, I'd like to add one more thing. I think that maybe we need to even start anticipating what it will look like when we have a front lawn to care for. I don't know if that's something that we want to do. I was thinking it might even be something that we might contract out to the city to do because they have so many grassy areas. That maybe they want to add the front lawn. I don't know. This is just Dr. Turnus is looking at me. We haven't discussed this yet, but the front lawn is enormous. And so that's something I was thinking, we have such beautiful grounds in Beverly Hills that they're really experts in that. So.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. When I was here, my prior time in what we did is rather than assign one grounds person to each school, they worked in teams. And they got a lot more done going site to site in a team of 5.
Okay.
And so that's something to consider.
Yeah, I'm open to how it's done. I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar that in a couple months we'll have a massive front lawn that will have other needs.
Yeah, I like that idea. We do have a team at the high school, so there will be 2 guys, but it will be a much larger, almost maybe
It's
triple.
vast.
Yeah, it's triple there's work right now, and I would be open to looking into a small maintenance contract with either the city or
Yeah.
another vendor.
Okay, we have a little bit of time for
Yes.
that one.
Can I ask you, how many classrooms? So you said in El Rodeo we have 35 classrooms total?
Yeah, there's a little more than that.
No, he said 35 cleaned and 10 remaining.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was
so we
only
have
10.
45 classrooms in El Rodeo?
Yeah,
Do you know how many we have in Horseman? No, okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Chernus, your report, please.
Nothing to report tonight.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I would like to talk about an approval of the first reading of the board policy. Now, I'm not against it, believe you me, I'm all for it. But I went through it very carefully, and I do feel that the idea behind a board policy is it sets the guidelines. It's a framework. And in the number 114 that I read, there was a lot of things that were more administrative procedures. And I had asked when this came back, we went over this once before, that this was not, there's a board policy and there's administrative regulation. So I'm asking at this time, I went through the document. I do believe that there's quite a bit of it that's policy, and there's also quite a bit of it that is administrative regulation. So I would go over it with Dr. Chernus, and we could pull it and bring it back. Now, there's no rush for it. I was just wondering if you would be agreeable to that, because I feel that I would waive the first reading, but it would have to go back because it's not really the way it should be written. It should have an actual board policy, which is the framework, which is probably most of the first page, and then there's intermittently the second and third page have regulations and some policies. So I would love to be able to go back over this at another time and hopefully bring it back next week with a board policy and administrative regulations listed. So that's my suggestion.
So, Mrs. Marcus, are you only saying the order of which things appear are the issue?
No,
but not the substance of it?
No, there are items. The first page is mostly policy.
And when you say the first page,
Well, the one that I printed from my computer on this when I picked it up.
so that's the.
Yeah, I've got notes
BH.
here. This is more policy. This is policy.
I mean, I only see the attachments on the website, so I don't exactly know.
Okay, well, if you look at the protect student privacy, ensure brand integrity, and maintain
The
safety,
district-sponsored
that's a
social media
regulation.
policy header.
Those are regulations. So they explain the actual procedures that you have to have in place in order for it to work.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if you would permit me to bring it back next week, in 2 weeks, completely with a board policy and a regulation, because the way it is written now, it is not that way.
But I don't have a problem with it being organized in the fashion that you're mentioning, but notwithstanding that, I'm ready with my comments and I would like to provide them so that we can move it along faster, because I think that it's a good idea to just have this established and moving along. And right now, we're going to end off early, and the next meeting might be a longer one.
I would be happy to listen to your comments and
Okay.
all of that, Mrs. Manicherry, but I respectfully wish that we would be allowed to put this in an order that it should be in.
Right, and I'm not speaking to the order, but I'm just speaking to the content.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The order, I'm okay whether it goes here or there. That's okay
That's
with
what I'm
me.
saying.
And I know that your mind organizes it in terms of policy and regulation, and that's okay with me. I just want to, because if we wait until the next time,
Well,
then
I would incorporate, when I meet with Dr. Chernus or whatever,
Yes.
I would make sure that everything you have suggested,
Great.
with everybody's approval, would be included.
Great, okay. So then, in that case, in the first paragraph, we have that the BHUSD encourages the use of digital media platforms to empower. And we have a variety of things: celebrate educational excellence, promote community engagement, etc. And the first one is student voice. And I actually have to ask us: is our social media intended to be to promote the student voice?
So can we have discussion or? what
Well,
are we doing?
yeah, I'm open to it, because to me, our social media, in my mind's eye, is really meant to inform. It's more of like the school voice. You know what I'm saying? And so,
I'm okay with just taking it out.
okay,
Okay, I think I agree with you on that.
yeah,
So the use of a digital media
Yeah.
to celebrate
There's-
educational excellence.
Empower.
yeah, because then we get caught up with other.
Can Colby also be involved? This is part of his.
Yeah, of course.
Well-
Mr. Gallardian, do you want to join us for this part of the conversation?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah, you thought about this too?
Yes, I thought
Yeah.
about Colby coming out
Oh,
and joining us. Because
Hi
I felt,
there. Thanks so much. So first, just to recap what Mrs. Marcus suggested, and I'm sure you can work with Dr. Chernus, and she would, of course, is that there should be a little bit more of a delineation of policy versus regulation. Which still, I always have to remind myself what the difference really is,
Well,
you know?
one is why.
What, and
why,
how.
and the other one, no, the first one is why do we have it?
Okay.
And then what, how, and when, and
Got
where.
you, got you. Okay, then, in line 2 of the purpose, I think that
Just for notes, it'd be to remove the word empower as well.
Yes, that's right.
Encourages the use of digital media to celebrate. You mean? the
Yeah,
use-
so
exactly.
removing the word empower
Yes.
as
that-
well.
Correct, thank you. So the first line would read, the Beverly Hills Unified School District, BHUSD, encourages the use of digital media platforms to celebrate educational excellence and promote community engagement.
Wait a minute, let's see, are you getting that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
You can see the notes on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Chrissy. Okay, so let's stop there. Is there anything else that we want our social media to do other than celebrate educational excellence and promote community engagement?
I would
Because-
like, I honestly feel that it ensures the safe, secure, and responsible manner for district, for that, I think is very important. That's a,
Okay, well, you've got that.
somewhere else.
Then the next line says, this policy ensures that all social media accounts created for, that should be and or affiliated with BHUSD are operated in a safe, secure, and responsible manner under district oversight.
Yeah,
Is
that's-
that good for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I thought that you were on, go ahead.
Okay, great. So this is gonna come back for another reading, so it doesn't mean that we can't
Hopefully
add.
at the next reading, we can come back and waive the first because it'll be ready. Because this is the
Yes.
third time and I
Great.
don't want to belabor it anymore.
I'm with you. Okay, then, under the policy statement, where it says events, or, I think that needs to be an and/or.
Where are you reading? Where are you reading?
Under policy statement, so that's the third paragraph from the top.
Always way
For
faster
development,
than all of us.
no, I don't, the social media platforms developed in connection with BHUSD instructional programs, student organizations, events,
And/or resources.
and/or resources, including
Mhm.
class projects, co-curricular activities, or extracurricular clubs are considered BHUSD affiliated accounts.
Yep.
These platforms are governed by the BHUSD and are subject to administrative oversight.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Perfect, okay. So far, we're all good. Then in the next paragraph, which starts with all social media,
Accounts representing BHUSD entities such as schools, departments, student organizations, academies, and extracurricular programs shall be operated under staff supervision and aligned with the district's brand standards, strategic goals, and commitment to student-centered and committed to the students. I don't think student-centered storytelling, I don't think that.
so, okay. So then, my first question is where it says academies, do you mean like different
Academics.
educational groups, or was that meant
No,
to
I
be
think it means
academics?
Academics.
I think I misspelled academics.
Okay, so that's gonna be academics.
And
Okay.
extracurricular
And then,
programs.
yes, and I think after and, we need or extracurricular programs.
Wait, can I also say something?
Yeah, stop me anytime. Or I can go through all my comments and then you can go through yours. How would you like to do it?
Because
Well,
I
that-
feel
that's-
like it should be under purpose also. Something to add in
Mm-hmm.
that all social media posts highlight student involvement, accomplishments, learning experiences.
Okay.
Basically, how would we word it so that all the posts are student aligned
Okay.
and not just a post of like happy whatever
Got you.
without the student involvement?
So, okay. So then back to the first line under purpose, stop me anytime, Trustee Savag. The Beverly Hills Unified School District BHUSD encourages the use of digital media platforms to celebrate educational excellence, and promote community engagement with respect to
Directly feature or relate to our students? Or
I wouldn't go that granular because obviously from the district level, we used things to promote like initiatives, future events, even just pure marketing for the school district as a whole.
But I think that's different. That has to do with
Well,
the school
but I
district.
think we covered
No, but
in
this
the
is a
third
social media
paragraph.
policy, not just for students, it's for our policy as a district.
I think we
No, I
covered in
agree.
the next paragraph, the
Oh,
third
okay.
paragraph where we talk about the students.
Yeah, so if it has to do with the school district and the students, yes, what I'm talking about, outside events like holidays or without the students' involvement, just to say happy this and happy that.
Sure, I'm just saying that if you immediately put it in the purpose of what the general document is
Oh, put it
about.
later?
I
Okay.
would put it later in its own section.
Okay.
But to change the overall purpose into if it's not student driven
Okay.
specifically, then it's against the rules is kind of handcuffs us.
Okay, so figure out where to put
Okay,
that.
maybe you could go in the second sentence. This policy ensures that all social media accounts created for and
Reading which paragraph?
second sentence
Second
of the
purpose.
first one,
Oh, this policy, yeah, okay.
and or affiliated with BHUSD are operated in a safe, secure, and responsible manner under district oversight, comma,
Period. Period.
yeah, it does, so that's period. You're trying, if I'm understanding you correctly, you really want the accounts to be student-centered.
Yes, because I think that we move into a different atmosphere when we're just posting everything that is, I think we should just be neutral and just have it student-centered and has to do with the district. So yes, post whatever is going to happen. If there's a theater or a chorus, yes, of course. Everything that has to do with the school, but not a national, holiday here and there.
Not a theme for every month.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
from my perspective,
Unless the students do something.
just looking at engagement in the current posts that we post, the ones that do the most well is when we highlight our students. Like the College Decision Series was a big one, Excellence in Action, sports games recaps, stuff like that where it's really student-centered. Those typically do the best.
So, where you originally had empower student voice, maybe we replace that with focus on student. What were your
Accomplishments?
clauses?
Focus on students to celebrate. Focus the use
Student
of student
celebration.
to use of digital media to focus on student educational excellence and promote community engagement. Okay, I'd like to keep going, Mrs. Manicherry, because so I would say
But are we agreeing to that? Digital media
use-
platforms to
the use
focus
of
on,
to focus
celebrate
on
students?
to celebrate
Okay.
I mean, we already have celebrate
Oh, we
educational
do
excellence.
have, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I
Student
don't
recognition.
believe that getting this granular,
Yeah.
literally in the first sentence
Yeah.
of an entire policy.
Okay.
Um,
How about highlight student
helps.
achievement?
But again, that can be further into the meat of this document. But the opening paragraph is just explaining the overall purpose of what our social media platforms are for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I think it's good. I think the student part should be replaced with highlight student achievement. Is that fine? So the purposes are to highlight student achievement, celebrate educational excellence, and promote community engagement.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And maybe we do and or, so that it could be any of the three.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I
Okay,
ask
so
you
it's gonna
this?
read,
The second.
Beverly Hills School District
Mhm.
encourages the use of digital meeting to highlight student achievement, celebrate educational excellence, and promote community engagement.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This,
Then
the next sentence is fine. It's about the responsible manner. It's not,
okay. So then we went down.
to policy statement. We accepted the next paragraph.
Yeah. We added an and or, and then we subbed out academies with academics.
Right.
Okay.
Can I ask you the second paragraph is not intended to limit creativity or expression? Which creativity? Are the students going to be going onto the social media?
Where is that?
The second paragraph of purpose.
This policy is not.
What
Clear
creativity?
boundaries of ownership and
I think that should read, this policy is intended to establish clear boundaries of ownership and accountability, et cetera.
Yeah.
No, et cetera, please.
I mean, no, and then the rest of it continues.
This policy is intended, right?
This policy is intended
to limit
to establish clear boundaries
To
of
just
ownership and
establish
accountability when
clear
BHUSD resources,
boundary.
branding, and or instructional time are involved. Good?
All right.
Okay.
Next.
Okay.
Social media platforms developed in connection with the BHUSD instructional programs, student organizations, events, and/or resources including class projects, co-curricular activities, or extracurricular clubs are considered BHUSD affiliated accounts.
Okay, stop right there, ladies and gentlemen. Do we want to define that? And if so, it goes capitalized. If not, we can
Which
just
one is?
BHUSD affiliated accounts.
Okay, let's capitalize
Do
it.
we want to capitalize that? Yes, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
For
they're
now, let's
subject-
capitalize it. Why not? Okay.
All social media accounts representing BHUSD entities such as schools, departments, student organizations, academics, and/or
Mhm.
extracurricular activities or programs shall operate under staff supervision
Mhm.
and align with the district's brand standards, strategic goals, and commitments to I don't like student-centered storytelling, and committed to students, period.
Perfect. I like it. To students. But now let me highlight something. District's brand standards are not defined.
I would make that a small d.
Well, no, the district can be a big
Oh,
B,
okay.
but I'm just letting, brand standards are not. The reason why I bring it up is down the line, we have BHUSD branding guidelines. So
Well,
just
yeah,
just
so-
keep that in mind.
Well, the term district brand standards should be brand guidelines.
That should be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It should match.
It should be consistent.
So what did you say?
Okay, so then I think it would read, shall
Or branding guidelines. I don't know what
Is that what
naming
you have there?
convention that you
And you just changed that district's
Yeah.
branding standards?
District's branding guidelines
District.
with all three capitalized. You could, if you really want, put in a parentheses like as defined below. Okay? I think we're good there. And then Mrs. Marcus said we end with students, period.
Sure.
Great. Trustee Sabah, good to go so far?
Yes.
Okay. Then BHUSD official accounts. So now let's talk about this. BHUSD official, we had another kind of accounts. So we have, now we've got official accounts and then we have affiliated accounts. The affiliated is the ones in connection, like let's say robotics has an account, or let's say flag football has an account.
We need to more define
Yes.
what an affiliated account is and an official account.
Okay.
Especially the naming conventions that we had talked about. We need to define that.
Okay.
And Colby, if you can explain that to the board of what we were talking about when it came to the naming conventions.
So yeah, looking at a platform like Instagram,
Mhm.
you'll notice that all of our schools follow a certain naming convention. For example, Beverly Hills High School is BHHS.BHUSD, while El Rodeo is ER.BHUSD. They all follow a similar naming strategy so that you can tell that it's all cohesive.
ours.
It's ours.
Okay, so then for example,
So we need that language in here for
one?
affiliated accounts and official accounts need to follow.
in this one, BHUSD official accounts.
Okay.
So, okay. So you're gonna add that, Colby? Okay, so that's TBD. Then, I think it should read BHUSD official accounts and affiliated accounts should focus on content that uplifts the educational community, including but not limited to student and staff achievement, educational initiatives, visual documentation of school events, key Board of Education priorities, informational updates and reminders relevant to the school calendar. Good.
I have no problem with any of those.
Okay. Let's keep going. Posts that represent general acknowledgements. I think that needs to be and or commemorative observances must reflect school initiatives and or student-led efforts.
Okay.
Do we want it to, is that fine so far?
It's fine.
Okay. Content must reflect educational relevance and, okay, so I didn't know what authentic engagement.
I don't know what that means. I do.
Okay, so how about just we stop at educational relevance?
I think that's right.
Okay. Okay. Then governance and oversight.
Okay, here's where I
Tell
run
me.
into a lot of things that are the regulations.
Okay, so this is regulation oriented. Mrs. Marcus, in your opinion, is everything after here a regulation?
All except at the very bottom. Policy, Beverly Hills Unified School District encourages students to share their authentic experiences, perspectives, and creative work through approved platforms. Student participation is not only welcome, it is vital to meaningful,
Yeah.
there we go with the school
So
story.
do we, I almost want to delete this whole paragraph.
No,
No? You
no,
want to
that's
keep
what I'm
it?
saying, we've already said it.
Yeah,
So
okay, so
we
this
said it when we
paragraph,
encouraged that up in the beginning.
this paragraph comes out.
Which paragraph?
The bottom of page 2, student engagement and creative contribution.
Can I back up to the top of page 2? where
Yeah,
it
we have to
says-
do that too.
Oh, we haven't done that yet?
We haven't, no,
Okay,
we just,
okay.
We're just doing policy.
So, are we all okay with the last paragraph on page 2 coming out entirely?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. Then now,
So just to make sure it's the paragraph highlighted.
yes.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
now it's going to the next page. And also the title above it, please. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Sabag,
Yes.
do you have comments on the top?
On, governance and oversight.
Okay.
So the top where it says, be created in partnership with BHUSD staff members. Can we be more specific? What is staff member? Can you turn off your?
Hold on.
Okay. Be created in partnership with BHUSD staff member. What does staff
So,
member mean?
Okay, so let's talk about, like, you're on the flag football team, right? So the flag football team, who's the person running that account?
Okay,
Okay, so in that instance, I'm just assuming that was my interpretation on reading it, because we also have these affiliated accounts. So be created in partnership with
So
the
let me-
BHUSD staff member,
Let
like
me ask
the
you.
coach.
Yes, so the whole policy in place is to keep everything aligned. So if another affiliated, like a coach or somebody has a social media, should
Not
they?
their personal social
No,
media.
the
yeah.
BHUSD
Yeah.
social media, should they have approval of maybe, Mr. Colby to see what exactly is on the social media post, or do we just let them just post?
No, they're subject to this.
Yes, so that's why I'm saying,
And so this, first of
like,
all,
where are the checks and where do we check them, checks and balances?
okay, so in the first line, I think it needs to be all BHUSD and then our capital AA affiliated accounts.
Do they get approval? Does somebody approves things? I think it should be Colby.
Well, let's talk about that. So we have, on any given day, practically speaking, kids going to wrestling, soccer, tennis. So what is happening I don't know that it's realistic that every single point about girls soccer 140.
So what about a
comes to-
training? Sorry to cut you off. What about a training? Like if Colby has a training with everybody that's going to be having a social media account that's BHUSD and says, okay, this is what we want. This is how we want it to look, so that they have their boundaries of how they're going to be handling the social media. Rather than approving, they already know what to do. So they're trained to do it. What do you think?
So I think going to what Judy said, Ms. Manucherry, by clearly defining an official account versus an affiliate account. So an official account would be our schools, ones that are operated by the communications department. An affiliated account would be something like Boys Water Polo,
Right.
where they have their own separate account. And so we just want to make sure that they are subject to this policy because they are an affiliated account. So this is where I think some of our guidelines on what they can post and what they can't.
Yes,
But
I'm talking about the affiliating accounts.
But I think
yes.
that this will be our norm, you know, and everybody can, they'll adapt quickly. I feel like most of the accounts already reflect.
Can I just say something?
Yes. Are you okay?
Will be. I think that I would love to stick to the rest of the thing that addresses policy and then come back to regulations, because I think what you guys are talking about right now is what I would classify as regulation, which I would like, if we can address it, fine. But I'd like to finish up what I believe is the policy and then go back to these things, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly
All
okay.
right.
I'm just talking about staff members. So
Well, but
I
that
said,
would, that is
who would that
exactly
be?
where I'm talking about. as
It's
a
on the
regulation.
policy.
It
but
should
it's on
go
the
into
policy.
regulation.
No, it's
Oh,
under,
we should take it off?
it's under governance and oversight,
Yes.
which would really be, the, not why, but this is more the how. How do we control it? So that's why I'm saying this part is, it says the policy, but that,
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think that we are now talking about
The how.
administrative, yeah.
The how is under regulations.
Right, so I would just like to point out one more statement in this that relates to what I would call policy. And that is the very last one, which says conclusion.
You
And then we
think
could
that
go
comes,
back and,
you think that should come back up under policy, the conclusion?
well, I don't know if it's a conclusion, it would be a conclusion of the policy because it says
Yeah.
why. Why are we doing this? This is to support collaborative work. So that's where that would go,
Great.
So moving that to
to the other, right. And
Yeah.
conclusion
But
would go,
Colby, on that one, for example, at the end, it should say, where it says BHUSD affiliated accounts, it should say BHUSD, what did you have? Official accounts and affiliated accounts. I think you know what I mean. You know, what are the officials and what are the affiliated? So you'll have to go through and everything, when you're talking about the accounts, you gotta define
affiliate
those.
or,
And or, that's right. Okay,
affiliated and or, what was the other word you had?
BHUSD, official accounts and or BHUSD,
Affiliated.
yeah.
Official. Well,
In that
affiliated and
context, it's
or,
just
and or official accounts.
yeah, okay,
Okay. Are responsibly managed and aligned with our shared, are responsibly managed and aligned with our educational goals. I don't think we need to say shared again.
okay, I'm okay with taking that out.
So that would be the end of what would be considered the policy.
Right,
Okay,
So
now we
then-
can, we
okay,
put that to bed. Now we can go back and look at page 2 and the rest of page 3, which in my opinion,
is
for what it's
regulation.
worth, is the regulations. And that's where you started to discuss them, okay?
So Mrs. Sabag, do you, other than what you just mentioned, do you have any more comments on anything on page 2?
I have.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
You can go ahead. Please. Enjoy.
So basically, the employee on the professional expectation for staff and account manager, it says BHUSD
Oh, you went
employee.
down
What position? And then approval from superintendent.
Professional expectations for staff and account managers. And what did you just say then? What managers? What?
No, the first one under professional expectation for staff and account managers. Yes. So the first bullet point says BHUSD employee. So I was wondering what position, what employee, and does it, like I said before, does it need approval from superintendent, board before opening an account? Submit the account passwords to the BHUSD technology department for secure retention. So just, to make sure, like, how is this process being done by who? So those are my questions. And then afterwards, if we can figure out the related to the posts, like what posts are this one professional.
If I could go back up one section before we
Okay.
go to there, the line utilize official BHUSD email addresses for platform setup and administrative access. I don't like the word utilize because that sounds like an option. I would say something more like accounts must be created using BHUSD district emails.
That's fine. That's just more active.
Well, it's more affirming, and maybe even a further disclaimer: no personal emails permitted.
Maybe I'll also put right here, just to define it, it's at bhusd.org or bhusd.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, as applicable. Very good. Okay.
You made those changes also?
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I was going over this.
Under prohibited content, the second bullet point, no promotion. At the end of the line, it's district. I think
Yeah.
district needs to be capitalized.
No promotion of commercial products or services without district approval.
Yeah, I think district needs to be, it's okay either way.
Let's be consistent, we're using the capital for district
Yeah.
all the way, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. I didn't have any other comments other than in general, I think instead of putting or, I think we need and or throughout.
Yeah.
Right?
If we could add one more thing into the prohibited content section, I don't know exactly how to word this, but I think we should explore something related to AI fakes. I know we already dealt with that at BVMS.
So we can bullet in on AI, right?
Some kind of but I mean, obviously AI is not evil, so I don't want to say AI is prohibited, but some kind of language that talks about faking
Yeah.
things with AI
I
needs
think
to be.
I think AI, the visual part of AI, should probably be prohibited because
Well,
we just want our students to be focused on our students.
But I mean,
not
I'm
an
saying like
AI.
I don't want to prohibit AI in general.
AI is not the problem. The
It's not the problem.
misuse of
It's the
AI.
misuse of AI of doing something that's against a
But it's a
person. Or
professional person is going to be using the
no,
social
but I mean,
media,
it could be
right?
someone posting a piece of art or something that they created, using AI. I'm not against AI at all, but
I'm
the
just
abuse of
concerned.
AI against someone or using it for bad needs to be
Well,
stipulated.
if it's a staff member, somebody that we are allowing to use the social media under BHUSD, they should know they shouldn't be using AI.
No, but they
should-
can use AI to create an ad or to create a poster or create something. I'm not
I
against
see.
AI.
I'm saying, like,
it's
okay.
what the content is.
Yeah, that's gotta come
Yeah.
out.
And yes, there already is language of no graphic, violent or sensitive material, which is obviously kind of open-ended. But I think just because of where the world is at, having AI language in there, of not utilizing AI for its, negative. If you can just do some research on some language,
Yeah,
I
I
think that'd be
agree.
great.
I think
Yeah, a statement of the misuse of AI will not be tolerated, essentially.
Exactly.
Right. Okay,
Great.
Mrs. Marcus made a good comment.
Top of page 3.
Yeah.
It says the policy does not restrict individual expression, critique, or identity, but rather draws between individually owned personal expression. And in the policy number 2, the policy is intended to create and establish expression, something we limit. to
Yeah, we took
establish.
out. I'm okay with that whole subclause coming out because it
Yeah.
doesn't have to
So
do anything.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
think we should
the
be-
clause right above content developed as part of a class.
yeah,
So the,
that, I think we should eliminate that statement.
I agree with you, Mrs. Marcus. Not that, not, yes, the one, exactly, Chrissy.
The individual expression
Yeah,
one? Yeah.
that's not neither here nor there. Okay?
The next part is very important.
Very good. This is a good clause, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even I would say tagging students by name should be avoided.
Don't have unless explicitly
Yeah, because
approved.
who can give authorization? Not a student, they're a minor. And, you know, just no, anonymous.
What do you think on that, Dr. Curtis?
So the only reason I think I included that was going back to the college decision series.
Mhm.
So we are, like, for example, saying Colby Glardian got into USC. So
That's true.
we're not tagging their account, but we are including their name. Or for example, Colby Glardian won an award. So we are
that's
recognizing.
mentioning.
Yeah, tagging would be actually using an at or
Yes.
tagging
We
them.
can do both.
If you just put their name, it's yeah, it would be
Yes.
mentioning.
Yes.
So
Should we say
tagging-
tagging and or mentioning?
So tagging
But then in
students-
mentioning, you'd have to.
Well, we get the approval. So tagging students by name, students should not be tagged. And by tag, we mean that their social media handle does not get pulled in, right? But then we do have our parent policy where some parents opt out. So then let me ask you a question. Joe Schmo is a senior, and he gets into Tulane. Where did his parents give us the authorization to post his future on Beverly Goes to College? Where did we get that?
That's a good question. I think what I've done in the past is I contact the. So first we look in Aries to see if they filled out the media release.
Okay.
But then also when we're doing something like the college decision series, I usually run it by the parents.
Okay.
And or the student.
Okay, now let's do it in a different way, that they're not seniors. We have like our Academica kids, they come here, and are we mentioning their name, or are, we do a lot of,
Yes. So we try to mention as many student names as possible, as long as they have the media release.
that's what we have, our media release.
They
Okay,
had signed something ahead of time.
yes, okay,
So shouldn't you just update it? It says tagging students by name should be avoided unless media release.
But
signed,
do we
or-
still want to tag them? Because I think tagging is more
So-
intimate and intrusive, because then the outside world can find them.
Tagging and then specifically mentioning are two different things, and I think
Different,
we need
yeah.
to define that.
Okay,
Are we eliminating
so we're
unless
saying,
explicitly approved, then tagging is just not allowed.
so
Tagging students
tagging
by
is
name
not
should be
allowed,
avoided,
yes,
period.
but mentioning is allowed subject to the media release approval.
But do you want to use the language should be avoided? Because that obviously isn't absolute.
Yes,
That's
I agree with
kinda
you.
like
So-
encouraged not
avoided.
to, but
Students should not be tagged. Students' social media accounts should not be tagged,
Tagging
are not
students-
to be tagged.
What's wrong with tagging students by name should be avoided?
so. But does that also include affiliate accounts, where a student run account tags another student?
Yeah, I don't think we should be tagging because our accounts are public. So let's think about it in another, you know what I'm saying? Our accounts are public. Our official accounts are public.
And there's also, like, just going more granular, looking at, for example, a platform like Instagram,
Mhm.
there's a difference between a tag and a mention.
Yeah.
A mention is something that's more hidden. So, like, for example, I could mention Sugali on Instagram and she can repost it, but it doesn't show up as her handle publicly. And so in the past, I have mentioned different student organizations and or students, but I never publicly tagged.
So
So
I mean named.
I think this is the kind of granular type statements that need to go into regulation.
Yes.
So it can easily be changed. Typically, the regulation is something the superintendent develops
Okay.
to implement.
Yeah.
And so in 5 years, when there's no more Instagram or tagging,
Yeah.
right, you just change the regulation.
Yeah. This
But
whole
the
section
policy
is regulation.
stands.
This whole
But the
section-
policy stands.
Okay.
So if we're going to bring back regulation, we can work through this, but the regulations typically are much more fluid.
Okay, so agreed, and Mrs. Marcus already indicated this page should go under regulation other than the conclusion. But Colby, we're now talking about 3 different scenarios. One is tagging. One is mentioning, like what you just described, and the third one is naming. Okay,
Yes.
you get me?
Yeah, so we'll do
tagging
3
is a
separate
no.
bullet points.
There'll be three
Yeah,
three
tagging
bullets
is a
there.
no, mentioning is a no, naming is a yes, subject to the press release sign, being signed.
Yes.
Okay, great. Tagging, no, mentioning,
Dr. Trulis.
no, naming, yes, subject to media release written approval. Well, I'll just put approval. Okay? Thank you. I feel like we really made good progress on this. What else, guys?
Are you talking about in that section?
Yeah.
Judy?
No, in general.
No, I think we're
We're
pretty
good.
well hitting.
Oh, cross references, Mr. Gallardian. There you have BHUSD branding guidelines where Russell and I were bringing it up.
I think that's.
But we're good there.
20, 1, 2, 3, 5 or something like that we did. Or is
I
that
can't
another one?
remember, but I think,
We'll look it up.
yeah, to me, this is good.
Okay, so
Okay. So good luck.
Thank you.
we did not have a motion at all.
Yeah.
We did not have a motion. We are going to bring this back because at this point, we're gonna have a board policy and we're gonna have an administrative regulation, and they will come back in 2 different formats, one for each. So we
Mrs.
did not have a motion.
Mrs. Marcus, do you think we should make an approval of the first reading as amended?
No.
Because then does that make the next one a first
Well, then
reading?
if the next one
We
comes
can
in,
waive it.
We can waive it at that point, but this is much too complicated,
Preliminary.
Too much. I would prefer, please, not
Okay.
to waive the, not even to make a motion tonight.
Okay, okay. I don't think we have a motion on,
Well, we did not, because I
Okay.
started out by my,
oh, yes.
my
Okay.
dissertation.
Mrs.
Okay.
Marcus, if we're ready to move on, I have a request.
Okay, please.
So on the agenda, 15 board discussion. I'm recommending to table 15B and C as Dr. Stern asked these be placed on the agenda and she can't participate in those items.
I will accept that and make a motion, or is that a
So
motion, or is that?
I would ask for a motion to
I
table
will s-
15B
I
and
will
C.
make- I will make a motion to table items B and C because Dr. Stern is not here and she put them on for discussion. I would ask for a second to table it.
I'll
I will-
second to
okay.
table
Thank
it.
you. Mrs. Sabag has seconded. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Thank you very
Sorry,
much.
gentlemen.
We do have,
It's good to see you, though.
okay, meeting reports, but I think, can we talk about? Should
15A is, yes, ready to be
Okay.
discussed.
go right ahead.
All right. So as you all see the title here, I have brought this in title only back. I just want to mention that Ms. Sabag, a few board meetings ago, had brought it to the public's attention of your enthusiasm, I would say, in bringing more opportunities for our kids to go and intern outside of the school at businesses. that I've been speaking to a lot of businesses in town, and that has been an incredibly popular topic. And I've spoken to Todd Johnson at the Chamber of Commerce, who also says that the Chamber is very interested in getting more involved with us. So for those who remember, the bridge concept that I had brought several months ago was a very vast, large, all-encompassing community involvement, businesses, police, fire, business owners, parents, which was not as well adopted in the first view of it. So I decided that instead of trying to rework it in its large sense, to more customize it, especially since the term bridge does feel like you're bridging a relationship with an entity, and back and forth. So I wanted to kind of change it into an idea to where it is really truly focusing on finding opportunities for our students to be able to go and intern and work at businesses, and in turn reciprocate in a way that businesses can come and work with us internally. And whether that's, say, somewhere like KBEV that you had mentioned earlier, where if we partner up with a studio that wants to come and help us with equipment and teaching and making our program better, in turn, we then send our kids over there to intern, at that property and learn firsthand. I think that we have so many opportunities with so many great businesses that are not only located inside of the city of Beverly Hills, but that are very geographically close, that it's really just piggybacking on that concept that you were so excited about. And I think something of this nature, especially when we had Miss Davis here earlier, the doors are already opening when it comes to corporate partnerships. A lot more businesses are going to want to do business with us if we open up that door and let them know that we're more positive to those kind of opportunities. So this is now a more abridged, no pun intended, version of the first version that is more granularly focused on partnerships with businesses that can assist our kids in going out to those businesses, and for those businesses to come back and to help us.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Mrs. Manicherry.
Thank you. First of all, I love this. So thank you for taking the time to abridge it and customize it more to our to our students' needs. And actually, it made me go back to Trustee Sabag. Recently, you mentioned internships, and even within BHUSD, and I was thinking about that because I was saying to myself, how amazing would it be for a young guy or a young gal who's interested in construction and development to, you are already nodding, to be your shadow, for a couple of weeks. And we have so much expertise within our own walls. And this goes outside of our walls, and I favor it absolutely. I have a few logistical questions, and I don't need answers to them now. I just want to put it out there. Who owns this? Meaning, which staff member would own the BHUSD Bridge network and process? How does this create synergy with our career services department? And does it go under our career services department? I'm not suggesting, I'm just asking, because we already have so much there, and I think having things centralized and not doubling them up and wasting resources is important. And then how is this different than our CTE Advisory Council? And so I almost wish that Dustin was here tonight so that he could also give some ideas about how this could really be absorbed into our other programming. But in theory, I love this. I think it's a great idea. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce myself. And people at the city, not just in the city council or city jobs, but in the city of Beverly Hills, want to connect with the kids. I think this is a great idea. So let's do it. Thank you.
Mrs. Sabag.
Yes. So thank you so much for bringing this forward and taking the time to plan it, to get it put together. I read it. I love it. I think it's fantastic for us to have a bridge between our students and businesses in Beverly Hills and beyond. I love what Mrs. Monticelli said in regards to construction, having the students work within BHUSD, just like our wonderful, spectacular Colby. And we actually have more that want to do that. And working with businesses outside. I think it's fantastic. Thank you so much for literally putting it together.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate it.
putting the idea into my head.
Thank
Well,
you.
I have to tell you, Mr. Stewart, when you first brought it in, I thought, oh, this is so vast and so nebulous, and it was all over the place.
That's exactly what my ex-wife said too.
Okay, well, I was, wow, what is this going? What is it going to create? And now you come back with something so concrete. And the words that come to my mind is less is more. And this is really fills it in word for word. I have to tell you, I'm very happy with the way you organized it, that you created it very succinctly. I don't think there's any question about what it's trying to do now, how you're going to go about it. And I think that where it's going to land, I don't know, but I think it's a great idea. So I really want to share that with you.
So
we are now down to, I believe.
So
wait, are we approving this?
No,
Or-
there's a motion here.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Chernus, is this something that then, knowing that at least 4 or 5 board members are in favor of this initiative, is this something that now you would take back to your team? And
Yeah, there's a
work with
few
Mr.
of-
Stewart, all of us could contribute.
I'd like
in
to.
our
I'd be
own way.
interested to know what Dr. Seaman thinks. I'd also be interested to know what the chamber thinks.
I was going to say I'd love
Opportunities
for you to
there.
reach out to Todd and
Yeah.
get his temperature on it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'd be the chamber always wants to help figure out ways to get involved. This might be a great mechanism.
Yeah, okay, to be continued. Thank you.
Okay, meeting reports, communication from our board members. Mr. Stewart.
Wow. Well, since it's only been 6 days since we were here last time, I don't have a lot to report when it comes to things except for just a few more updates on KBEV. We had received the architectural outlines from the firm that we had hired to do that. And I know that our new instructor, Kyle Newman, had a chance to meet with our A-list students, and I'm very proud to announce that it went very well. I actually saw them there this morning, and the amount of smiles and positive attitude was just absolutely fantastic, and great things to come from KBEV. I know this is a little weird for a school board, but I want to make a statement about a gentleman who passed today named John Michael Osborne, who's better known as Ozzy Osborne. I had the great privilege to work for Mr. Osborne for many years, running his family security here in Los Angeles. Mr. Osborne was a resident of Beverly Hills for a very long time. And I just wanted to say that he was an incredibly sweet and beautiful person. I had a chance to have many personal chats with him. He was an incredible artist, not only as a singer and a songwriter, but as an actual sketch artist. He drew some of the most incredible things that I'd ever seen. And I just want to say the legacy of his music, of his life, and what he has contributed to art as a Brit in this country. I can remember playing every single Black Sabbath song as a kid, on the guitar, and watching his tribute, which my team was very taken back in his tribute concert that was literally just a few days ago in England, where he flew over there with pretty much every major heavy metal band in the world came, and for him to pass away just a few days later, and the fact that he sang "Mama, I'm Coming Home" as one of his last songs, and now he is home. So I just want to say publicly, his wife Sharon, his kids, Melinda and Michael, who are the chief of staff of his home and his businesses, you've lost a legend. And just want to thank you, Ozzy, for allowing me in your life. So thank you.
Mrs. Manicherry, do you have something to add?
All I want to say is that there is a lot of hard work happening this summer, and I am so proud of it, and I'm so grateful for it. I really believe that we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to be ready for August 12th. And so I just thank you, Dr. Chernus, Dr. Hasty, and our entire BHUSD staff who's working through the summer to get everything ready and make things better and the best that we can for our students. Thank you.
Mrs. Sabag.
Yes, so I wanted to highlight a few things with our amazing superintendent, Dr. Chernus. First, next week we're gonna do a retreat on Monday, I believe, with the administration. So this is something that wasn't done this way before, and Dr. Chernus has saved the district so much money, and it's a leadership retreat, and I'm really super excited to listen and to watch. And I wanted to highlight something else. I don't know if any of you know, or maybe you do. There were a couple that were supposed to be coming for public comments, and they didn't come. They didn't come because of Dr. Chernus. So TK and El Rodeo, there was a little bit of too many students enrolled, which is wonderful. Our enrollment is going up, and we have TK and El Rodeo, and they were very saddened. They called me, they wrote to me, and I believe also to you. Yeah. And I mean, literally, they were in tears. My heart was aching. Dr. Chernus, within a few hours, already made the decision. We're opening another TK in El Rodeo. These parents and these families are ecstatic because they do have already children in the school, and they don't want their children to be separated. And it's just amazing. So I thank you. I commend you for working so swiftly, so fast, putting our students first. And I would also like to just address just a couple things. I don't want to get too deep into it. But I do want to first say that the policy was 5-0 that we put in place for the standards-based instructional environment, which is amazing. And I appreciate the hard work that we put into it, the dedication, Mrs. Manicherry literally went into all the legal, documentations about it. We did everything for that. And that policy was not put into place because of Mrs. Judith Chan, not at all. Although I'm not happy with what happened 2.5 years ago, but it has nothing to do specifically with that. And with that said, I would like to, just so the community knows, just a few, because I had to do it really quick and I couldn't go all over. I have received several comments of the fact of that policy. One parent said, "Bravo, you are making history with everything you are doing. No more nonsense in the classroom and trying to brainwash children to the ideology. Teach testing-based education." Another wrote, "Thank you so much for your support and advocacy. It means so much to us as parents to know someone in your position truly understands how important this is. Your compassion, leadership, and willingness to stand up for our kids have made such a meaningful difference, and we're deeply grateful and choosing you." And then another one wrote that she literally, "I cried reading this. Thank you so much for this policy." Another one wrote, which is a teacher, "You are awesome. Everything you said last night is on point. Not everyone was worried about the language, just a few that have been concerned. Thank you for everything." And then another teacher wrote, "I can say that from the people that I know and talk are very excited and happy with all the changes. Stick to the curriculum and all will be just fine. That's from a teacher. And then another person, which I admire very much, said, this is amazing. And there's more, but I didn't have time to go through everything because I didn't expect to even read this. But I just thought it was a little important since we had a little bit of comments. And I do want to just say that it is misunderstood. And of course, our children, our students are going to be reading the newspaper. You know, that's just something I just can't believe that was said. There's, you know, reporting, anybody can report. You don't need this policy to make any kind of reports of violations. People do it all the time. They can do it whenever they want. And with that said, we have one more board meeting before school starts, right? So that's exciting. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, well, first of all, I have some good news. I just want to read, now I lost it, but let me find it back. From our board member, Dr. Stern. Hello, all. Thanks for your care and concern. I'm here at the ER. All looks good. Appears to have been a combo of a couple of situations. All tests indicate I am okay. And she says, free feel to share publicly as you feel appropriate. Well, I'm glad that everything is working out okay. I'm sorry that she missed the meeting. But I just wish her all well, and I hope she's on her way home. And thanks for the message.
Good.
Now, huh?
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, and the funny part about it, she was more interested in her computer than where it was than anything else, but it was with her when she left. And she got it. So I would like to make, I have a couple things that I would like to say. First of all, last Friday, I got the message when I was in Minnesota, so I thought it was going to start at 7:30, but instead it started at 9:30 because of the time difference. But at any rate, I attended the last presentation to the parents of the students who took the AI class at the high school. And I have to tell you, they were divided into 4 groups, and each group had its own instructor. I can't begin to tell you the depth and complicated language that they were using that even I didn't understand. It was amazing. It was an invaluable experience. And I asked Dr. Sherman afterwards if he could have a couple of the students come back this year to speak to the board about that experience. And I don't know, he said he would arrange it with Dr. Seaman. So I'm hoping, but one of the groups spoke on finance and how to predict stocks. And that was an interesting one. Then there was another group that had their AI was to pick the best movies. The third one was a chat bot. I didn't even understand that one. They were talking about stuff that I didn't even understand. And then the last one was, how do you identify people who get pneumonia? And all of these were really unique subjects that were beyond comprehension for me, but they were fantastic. The kids were fantastic, and it was really a wonderful experience. And I hope that a couple of them will come back and talk about it. Now, about something that has been kind of on my mind, and it does not have to do with the fact that I oppose or predict or anything like that. That I've been very concerned lately about the waiving of the first reading and immediately passing policies. And it's something that I remember recently. The one was the BSN Nike, the standard Bates instructional environment, parents' rights and responsibility, the health and personal elimination in the curriculum from a requirement. And some of these things were, in my opinion, should have been not waived on the first reading. And my feeling is even though I did not oppose any, except for maybe one, although I don't oppose them, I do feel that it is important that the information that is in them is out there for the community to see. So I just think that we're getting past what is the due process. And we talk about transparency. And I think that we're ignoring the fact that the people that elected us have a right to see what we're voting on also. So I urge the board to start to think clearly about if we're making big changes in a policy, that it doesn't get passed with no first reading. And that's my personal concern. No one can argue that my concern is not for the students, but unless there's an emergency to pass a policy, I see no reason why we can't take a step back to let the community have some input. That is my comment.
Can I make a answer that?
No, I
Because
think
we
that-
do discussion before the first reading. We discuss it a
yeah,
lot.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking now, and I'm allowed
And
to
it's a
express my feeling. Thank you very much. That's just my concern that, and that's, I mean, you,
But that's between the board.
beg pardon? The next meeting is going to be on August 5th, and I will adjourn the meeting at 8:12. Thank you.